All right, we're live. Monday Night Metals coming at you live and in person. We got Vegas Stacker in the upper left, myself in the upper right, and down below the incomparable Dub C. What's happening, Dub C?
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you doing this evening?
Yeah, doing all right, doing great.
How was the cruise?
The cruise was fantastic. It was a little, at the end of a cruise, it's always the same for me. I'm like ready to get home,
Yep.
So yeah, I want to do one of those transatlantic cruises, but it's 14 days to like 16 days, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm really ready for that.
I have no interest in doing like an ocean cruise, but I wouldn't mind some of the European river cruises. Those look pretty cool.
They do actually, yeah, because you get to see a lot of cities that way.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and interior cities, not just coastal, obviously, and
yeah,
they do look like a lot of fun. Yeah, they have a couple of Rhine River ones that I think would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be nice. I'd like to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
So Blue Collar, when I pulled this up on YouTube, I got a commercial right off the rip.
No way, dude. Really?
Yeah.
You mean just now?
It was only like a couple of seconds, but yeah, funny.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about.
You're monetized now. They're gonna throw a commercial every chance they get.
Well, I got to be honest. Monetized doesn't mean shit if you don't get any views, man. I haven't. Nobody's watching my videos, man. It's fucking depressing.
Because you're monetized, they hold you back now.
I guess. Yeah, they. It's like anything else. They got to break your spirit. They got to break you down and build you back up in their image.
Did you put arrows on your thumbnails?
You know what? I did not put arrows on my thumbnails. Maybe I dropped the wall, right?
There you go.
Hey,
I put arrows on mine.
Hey, Littlefoot, good to see you. Hey, Space Miner, good to see you. FG Stacker, nice to see you. Thank everybody for coming to this.
Blue Collar, you want to call out the chat since you're the host?
Sure. Let's do it. I will call out the chat. We got Space Miner. Hey, Space Miner, what's going on? We got B Taylor, of course. B Taylor is in here every week. We got Littlefoot, me, and Littlefoot and LBS are actually going to do a show Saturday morning, very early, 8:30. What is it? 8:30 Eastern. It's 5:30 Pacific.
Nice.
Yeah, LBS invited me on to be a guest, and I graciously accepted. So I will be on with Littlefoot. Littlefoot says woot woot. Let's see who else we got. We got FG. What's up, FG? We got FG Stacker in the house. Let's see. Keep going. Oh, Buy Up Gold and Silver. What's up? Buy Up Gold and Silver. We've got Kevin Hawthorne. I see. Kevin Hawthorne's always in there early. And that's it. Right now, that's all we got. We got 10 people, but we got TFC, and I don't know who TFC is. I don't think I subscribe, but I will going forward. Thank you, TFC, for coming in. So, gentlemen, what's on your mind? What's going on?
Well, hopeful for the ceasefire. I hope that that's actually a thing.
Yes.
And I saw that metals were kind of reacting a little bit to it. If you weren't aware, there's apparently a current ceasefire between Israel and Iran. We'll see how long that holds. Hopefully it will hold indefinitely.
Yeah.
I saw that, and I thought there'd be more action this morning because of everything. I thought prices would go a little, but I don't know much, so
yeah. I was kind of expecting there to be a little bit more of a reaction than what we saw. I wasn't hoping for it. I certainly don't want those kinds of things to impact precious metals. And obviously, not obviously, but it doesn't really mean that much to me, since you guys know that I don't really buy and sell precious metals. So it was really just kind of an observation. And I wonder if there were hints of something like this happening, and that could have been why the metals weren't moving. Maybe there was no reason for them to move. I suspect the people that really have their fingers on the triggers or the pulse of the big precious metals industry might have a little bit more knowledge than just the average person like us.
Yeah, you would think, yeah.
And maybe they were just, maybe it was built in. Maybe they're like, obviously, if this isn't going to go anywhere, then there's no reason to buy or sell.
It's a great point, and that brings out more of the manipulation aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big, you guys know that I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but that doesn't mean that there aren't huge corporations or incredibly powerful people that are buying and selling precious metals the same way that some of us would flip something on eBay or at whatnot. You know, to them, it's the same thing. If we get excited flipping something on whatnot and we make 10 or 15 bucks, then billionaires are flipping things for $1 million, and that's what gets them excited. So it's probably that kind of thing. I want to ask about my dos pesos straight away. It says 1945 on it, but I read they stamped that on it for years. Is there any way to know when it was actually minted? Littlefoot asks this question. The answer to that question is there's really not. Some people claim that they can tell on some restrikes, like the French 20 franc pieces, that the color of the restrike is different, but the dies are absolutely identical when it comes at least to the Mexican pieces. So there's no way to tell if a 45 is an authentic 45 or if it is a restrike 45. But because of that, there is no difference in value either, right? You could have an original 45 and it could be in pristine condition, and your dealer would still pay you the same amount of money for that they would for a restrike.
So does that devalue the original, I guess, or?
No, it's there just isn't any difference. So if the originals will never sell for more than their gold content because there's no way to tell which is and which isn't an original 1945.
Right. And I would imagine, though, if they had continued dating them the proper years, the 45s might be worth more.
Yeah, I think it's possible because there are early versions of the 2.5 pesos, the 2 pesos, and so forth. And those that are made before the restrike date, because every one of the Mexican series, and I just pulled up, I believe this is a 5 peso here. Yes, 5 peso. So this is a 5 peso, and you can see that these are virtually identical to the 2.5 peso and the 2 peso.
Here, let me make you full size there. Hold on one second. Go ahead. There you go. Show it off.
There you go. So this is, I believe this is a restrike also. Maybe not. This is actually, maybe this is an original. I think it says 1905. I'm seeing everything backwards, as is often the case with the cameras here. So yeah, that says 1905, 1902, 1905. Regardless, this is an original piece. This is not a restrike.
Yeah, so I think we lost your audio, or your video rather. Do you have a connectivity issue, or?
No, I'm good.
I see him.
Huh.
Okay.
You see him? I'm not seeing him.
I just checked my cable. It's not working. Okay. Can you guys in the audience actually see me? Can you see me now?
Maybe it's blue collar. You're losing your.
Yeah, could be.
FG sees you. Everybody sees you. Might be you losing your connection there, Blue.
Yeah, maybe so. I'm gonna reload the page and hang in there. I'll be right back.
Okay, well, hold on tight.
All right, so yeah, how come I'm not seeing that? That really is crazy. I got good internet here. Can you still hear me?
Still hear you.
Yeah, I got full internet service here.
Did you just toggle onto a different screen or something?
No. It says you can wait for it to. It says the page has become unresponsive.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah,
you're on your laptop.
I am. I'm afraid to shut it down because I don't want to lose the whole show.
Yeah, don't bomb the show, man.
Put us back to the shrink me and get us back to the 3 screens, and maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, I can't even do that. I can't even do that. Everything's froze up on my end.
It's now the Dub C show.
It is.
Yeah, I just got my picture looking the way I wanted it to. Come on, man. No, if you need to reboot, that's cool. We can try that again.
Okay, let me try that. And
are you running it on your phone though, right? You started it on your phone?
I'm running it on the laptop right now.
So you have a webcam?
No. My audio, my video is running off the phone. Can you see my hand?
No.
No, you can't. Oh, that's right, because obviously you guys are.
I'm maximized.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna try and reboot it,
All right, everybody in
page.
the chat, we're gonna get back in.
Hang in there. Hang in there.
I don't think we might not lose him. I don't know if he reboots.
Hopefully we won't. If we do, I'll get back in.
All right, I'm still here. I can hear you guys, even though I reloaded the page.
Yeah, we're still running.
Hold on. Stop
but if we can't see him, there's.
No, we're getting there. I'm getting there. I'm just.
We don't need to see him. It's okay. So we got
Okay.
Bean
So
Becky showed up.
I think.
Oh,
hey, there we go.
Nice.
Ta-da!
Hey, we did it. We got it. Technology. Yes.
The captain of the ship. So we got a couple more people that stopped in real quick. We got Robert P. stops in, says hello. Bean Becky says, go ahead and reboot that, would you? The Humble Stacker is here. What's up, Humble Stacker? Ozark Buck is in the house. He says, hey crazy stacker type people. Good to see you. You already called out Big Test Unit. Cartier says, Silver says, look at all the booty. And I think I'm caught up.
Okay. Right. Technical difficulties. Good to see you, Dub C, says Being Becky. Hello, everyone.
Nice to see you, Being Becky.
Hey, Becky. How are you tonight?
I had some questions for you, Dub C, and I only jotted down two of them because I couldn't remember the third one.
Hit me with them.
But one of them, we've been getting some new stackers in here every now and then, and I would be considered a new stacker as well, I guess, because only a year and a half. So,
dude, all of you are new stackers to me. Don't you get that yet?
Still a rookie.
Yeah, this is true. You're like the original. Dub. You're like stacker number one, I think.
Now, what's funny is because I remember when I first started going in, really looking for bullion, making that change from bullion to coins. There were so many old grizzled dudes in there, and I always felt like I was, complete. No idea what I was doing, a complete newbie, and now it's people asking questions about 90%, and it's the nature of anything. People ebb and flow, new people come in, old people leave. So it's the entire thing. Sometimes you feel like it's almost working in the post office, and I go to the post office on a regular basis, and the same clerks have to answer that same question 5, 6, 8 times a day. And that's just the nature of where they are. And I try to keep that in mind when people are asking the same question that I've heard 100 times. It's the first time for them. So you have to just be patient, right? That's all you can really do.
That's it.
Very true. So the one question I had was, do you have any advice for new stackers?
It's an excellent question, and it's something that I ponder on a regular basis. This is the kind of thing that I think about when I'm shooting videos. The price of silver and the price of gold are really, and I've said this before in a couple of my recent daytime live streams, is kind of unprecedented. Not that they have reached new highs, but those highs have always seemed to be predicated on enthusiasm in the market, and now the highs seem to be based on concerns about the value of the US dollar, and that was never really something that I was concerned about coming up. So the hardest thing is when I see the prices where they are now, my inclination is to say, I've seen this before. I've seen the price of gold go up this high this quickly. I've seen the price of silver go up this high this quickly, and it inevitably comes back down again. But I'm not really that sure right now because of where the economy is and what's going on. So my advice had always been, and anybody who's been on my channel for a while knows that I always say, these prices seem unnaturally high, and I always think that they're going to come down. But now I'm not so sure. It's kind of a different ballgame. So it's really hard to give advice to new people when I'm not sure that my advice would be very good. I guess that's really what it comes down to.
Well, I mean,
any way to look at it?
As a new stacker myself, I just buy. I just keep buying. I'm not stopping. I'm not planning on stopping.
But if the price of silver, let's say it's 36 right now, I think we actually brushed 37 briefly today. I could be wrong about that. I thought that's what I saw. But if you're buying right now rapidly, if you're putting a lot of money into the market, and in the next 3 months, the price of silver drops down to $14 an ounce, or the price of gold drops down to $2,300, $2,400 an ounce. This is the problem with not dollar cost averaging. If you're thinking about being in something in the long haul, and dollar cost averaging is just putting a regular amount of money into the market on a regular basis. So it seems dangerous to me to pump a lot of money into the markets right now. But that's what I was saying. It seems dangerous to me because I've seen this before, but I've never seen the fundamentals like this before. And that's what's kind of scary. So that's why I've always been reluctant to give people advice. I've always been reluctant to tell people what to do. You guys who've seen my channel before know that that's not who I am. But I'm even less, in the feeling like I can offer genuine advice as to what to buy or what to sell to people in this market, because it's a little bit uncharted.
Makes sense. So Emperor Wang has a question. He says, how do you store all that knowledge in your ass?
It's a big ass. I mean, I think we all are aware of that, right? It's a great big ass. I can pack things really tightly. Let's put it that way. For those who know,
I had to throw that in the promo. I had to throw that little donkey with the little book collar in the promo.
I saw it, man, and I was like, I get it. That's Emperor Wang's thing. Hey, booty girl, good to see you. No, it's not that. It's Emperor Wang said that I've got knowledge out the ass in one of the shows not too long ago, and I thought it was very funny.
Now, were you actually present? And speaking of Emperor Wang, he shows up. Were you present when he said that? Because I thought you had already left.
No, I think I was there. I was pretty sure I was there.
You might have been lurking. Yeah, you might have been lurking at that point.
I might have been, possibly, but I think it's pretty good.
I have a question for Emperor Wang, and I think I figured it out. Blue Collar and I were texting earlier, and I wanted to get confirmation from Emperor Wang because I know a lot of movies were filmed in Hawaii and in Studio 304. So was Dub C the inspiration for Indiana Jones?
I think maybe he was.
I'm just guessing. So I was wondering if Emperor Wang could confirm or deny that from Studio 304.
You're not too far off, because we know that Tom Selleck had been offered the role of Indiana Jones, right?
Correct.
And he could not take it because of contractual obligations. And I'm not saying that I was there at that period of time, but I may have known some of those people.
Interesting. So you were in the film industry. Well, actually, you were. I'm guessing you were in the radio industry at some point.
No, I mean, I know a lot of people say that. That's not true. I've said before that I did a little bit of voiceover work, but nothing that anybody probably would have seen.
Interesting.
And I look like Tom Selleck. I might have looked a little bit like Tom Selleck when I was a younger man, but I certainly don't look like Tom Selleck anymore.
So that you were there giving them advice throughout the movie. Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm not
saying.
You
got to do it this way. You got to swap the bag at the same time and watch out for the booby trap.
I'm not saying that. I am definitely not saying that. The reality is probably not nearly as interesting as you guys want it to be, but that's fine. I kind of enjoy that anyway. This is one of my favorite silver art bars, and I'm just showing it because I seem to have a pretty good camera going right now.
Hold on. I'm going to make you full size, but I'm praying that does.
I'm still backwards. To me, I'm still backwards, but you guys can see this one. This is not a particularly scarce bar. This is something that's kind of common, but I think the detail is really exceptional, and the fact that it's on both sides. I mean, I don't know that much about San Francisco, but clearly this is like an old school San Francisco building. So to have art on both sides of a piece like this, I just think is really cool. Now I'm upside down and backwards.
There you go.
You can go, if you go to settings, and where it says mirror my camera, if you click on mirror my camera and get that off of there, then it will be all better.
Okay, that's cool. I did that, and now I can see it. And I just put out a bunch of silver art bars. I figured we'd go through some of those. Anybody who was watching the previews when I was putting out pictures of gold coins, I didn't mean to imply that I was going to dump all of my gold coins tonight. That wasn't going to happen anyway, but I wanted to at least put out some pieces. So I know that Blue Collar was kind of counting the ounces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's call it 10 ounces of gold. I think that's probably pretty close.
Yeah.
And that's all pre-33, with the exception of the Mexican piece that I put in there for Blue Collar.
Well, that picture that you put up there, that was quite a little pile of gold.
Yeah, that was all of the miners, right? That's all of the smaller pieces. That's all of the smaller pieces that aren't slabbed. Let's see if we can make it even more specific. And I've picked up quite a few pieces since I made that image, so even that's probably not accurate anymore.
So that bar that says Barbary Coast. That's funny because there used to be a casino out here called the Barbary Coast.
Oh yeah, I remember. I was out there first time I went to Vegas. A friend and I drove all the way from the Midwest out there. I think I've talked about it on the channel before. And I'd never seen a slot machine, but obviously coming from my background, always been fascinated with that kind of thing. And we wound up going to the Hard Rock because that was kind of the cool place at the time, and we were a hell of a lot younger then. So I walked up to a machine that had a 1947 Indian Chief. That's a motorcycle. And opposite that was the equivalent Harley, because, Indian and Harley used to be kind of like, Ford and GM, kind of.
Right.
Did we lose somebody?
No.
So anyway, I had never gambled before. I only had like $50 with me, and we had to get all the way to California, which was ridiculous. So I put a couple of quarters in the machine, and I put a couple more in, and I put a couple more in, and I won the big prize.
Oh wow!
But because I only put in 2 quarters, I didn't get the full payout. That would have been 3 quarters would have been a 1947 Indian.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So I had no idea what I was doing. I'd never seen a slot machine before. 20 minutes before I did that. So and long and short is that I still got $2,000 or $3,000 in cash, and it made the trip a heck of a lot more interesting than it would have been.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
That exact same. Oh, big test unit threw us a what do you call it? A super chat?
A
$2
hey,
super.
That's awesome.
super
I
chat.
want to make sure that I
Thank
get
you,
1/3 of that. So I want my 68 cents or whatever that is.
Well, YouTube gets the first 30%, so you're
Do
gonna
they
get.
really?
They do.
That's
So
crazy.
It is crazy, right? 30%, man.
We had, I apologize. I know that somebody had made a comment earlier addressing me. Dub C, your advice and videos are great. I follow DCA, but have never been to a coin show. One will be here in November, stuck between continuing DCA or wait till the show. What do you think? Robert P, treat yourself. Save up a couple of months of DCA or whatever it is, as long as you're not going to do permanent damage, and go have a blast and buy something that you'll really remember. If you find something that you want, then don't have a problem actually buying it. Don't, it's a cheat day on a diet, kind of.
Nice.
Yeah. Your first coin show? Wow, that's I've only been to 3 now, I think. But the first one was it was cool. It was very overwhelming. I think I was dizzy for like the next 3 hours after I left there. But it is nice to have a little bit of cash while you're there. Like Dubsy said, don't like go without just for stuff there. Have something in mind that you're looking for too.
Yeah, that's good advice also.
Now,
like I was running around there and I didn't know what I wanted to buy.
Were you answering somebody's question and I missed that, or?
Yeah, I was answering a question.
Oh,
He
okay.
said he dollar cost average, and he's going to his first coin show. That was Robert P.
Oh, okay.
So he was asking if he should stop DCAing until he gets there.
Yep.
Or continue with the dollar cost averaging. And I kind of feel like if you're being consistent with what you're doing and you want to save up a little bit of money and buy something fun, then you should do that.
Okay, gotcha. I had to actually step out because my dog, as you heard, that was my dog actually. So, hey, so something you mentioned in your last video, Dub, about the Dansko books.
Yeah.
Okay, so I bought a collection. They were in these Dansko books, right?
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay, so what it turned out to be was what I consider to be pretty pristine coins. Okay.
Okay.
And this is one of them. And can you see the edge toning on it?
Yeah, I can.
Almost every coin in that book had that ring around it.
Make that a little bit larger, would you? Can you?
Yeah. Hold on one second.
Fluff yourself up.
I'm fluffing myself here, guys. Just don't pay attention to me. Okay, so there you go. See the dark?
No, I see it. Yeah. I'm looking for signs of cleaning.
No, fuck
you. And I'm not being funny. I'm looking. Okay, it's got some luster, but that luster is a little bit muted, and it doesn't seem to be particularly cartwheely. To me, that's an indication that it may have been cleaned.
it's got this big ass LED light.
Yeah.
Not unlike the knowledge that comes out your
right?
ass.
Yep, I gotcha.
This is a big ass light, and I'm not good at doing the little spinning cartwheel thing, but
yeah, it's a little bit tricky. So I see a little bit of muted luster, and I see a little bit of softness, and that could be a function of the strike also, or it could just, like you said, it could be the lighting too. I am hypersensitive to cleaning, and it's kind of either or. That's a could be or it may not be. I don't know. It's a tough one.
Yeah, this is. I'm not sure if this was one of the better coins in there, but there are a lot that are just super flashy, really beautiful coins. So yeah, I got about 20 of them.
Nice. That's dropping some money. Littlefoot asks if I have a Dahlonega gold or if I have Charlotte. I have one of them. I'm not going to tell you which one, but I will be showing it in an upcoming video.
Nice.
Littlefoot's got some knowledge on some stuff here lately.
Yeah, Littlefoot's dropping it, man.
Yeah, Charlotte, America's first gold rush, I believe, and Dahlonega in Georgia followed shortly thereafter, and they both continued to make gold coins for a very short period of time. And you get extra bonus points with your fellow numismatists if you can pronounce Dahlonega, because a lot of people have no idea. To me, it sounds like Talladega. It looks like Talladega. So it looks like Dahlonega should be pronounced Dahlonega, kind of the same way. Right. But it's not. It's Dahlonega.
Freddie Silver says he hasn't been to a coin show yet, but Florida has one in July. He says maybe he's going to go then. Is the fun show in?
Yeah, he's talking about the fun show.
Yeah, that's a big show.
Yeah, who said that?
Cartier.
Okay, so Cartier. I mean, you're an experienced guy. If it's your first coin show, I would recommend against the fun show myself. Just because it's so big, man. It's so freaking overwhelmingly large that you won't, you'll just be dumbfounded when you go in there. I know Silver and Cigars might disagree with that. We had that discussion, I think, in one of our live streams, but I personally, and I'd been to a couple of coin shows, but when I went in there, I was like, where do you even start? If you start on one side, it'll take you 3 days to get to the other side if you're really looking at stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not a specialist, I mean, if you're just a generalist, if you're just somebody there for the fun of it, but try not to take it too seriously and just kind of enjoy it. I hear what you're saying about not doing it if it's your first show, but if it's your first show and it's really the only opportunity that you have, I kind of feel like you should take advantage of it if you're going to go. So.
Yeah,
but yeah, be warned. Be warned that it can be overwhelming.
Yeah, but Cartier, I think where you're located, you probably like within 2 hours of my house here, there's a coin show every single weekend, and different. And I'm not shitting you, man. It's every Sunday. There's one in Fort Lauderdale, Plantation, West Palm Beach, or Lake Worth rather, and then one in Melbourne. There's one in Maitland. They're everywhere. Coin shows in Florida are like alligators. They're everywhere.
Bunch of old people.
That's it. A bunch of old dudes. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, pump me up again, man. I've got cool stuff. Sorry, we're just looking at aliens.
Sorry,
but also wanted to know, Dubsy, if you've ever busted gold out of a slab.
Yeah, I have. I've got. I think it was a PCI. $20 gold piece that I didn't want in the PCI slab anymore. So I sent it to NGC and it actually upgraded. Completely surprised me. So I think it went from a 63 to a 64, something like that. And that was a long time ago. I mean, that was a good 15 years ago. And I don't think I'd ever done that before. And I'm trying to think if I've ever done that again. I don't know that I've ever broken anything out of another slab and sent it off to NGC. It's almost kind of more of a challenge buying something raw and sending it to a third-party grader. That way you have a greater chance of screwing up. I think that's probably the case for me. Is my light too blinding, guys? Can you see the stuff here? Do you want me to tone it down a little bit?
It's a little glary on the right-hand side.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to see if we can.
There you go.
I don't want to be too dark. I know that if it goes too dark, then it's too hard to see. So.
Per Wang says spending time flipping through pages of Kingdom of Hawaii coins has really shown him how to detect cleaning, looking for the high and low points.
Oh man, that's definitely the case, especially with the dollars. So many of those are cleaned, and I think even mine, and I think mine was an XF 45. I don't remember off the top of my head. I showed it not that long ago, at least an image of it. I traded it a long time ago. But I think even mine in the PCGS slab, it was pretty clear that that piece had been cleaned. So one of my all-time favorite releases, and that's because I'm absolutely fascinated with the year 1883 in regards to coins, and always have been. I actually started to build an 1883 set, and I always promised myself I'll get back to it someday.
Is that because that's the year you were born, or?
It's in part because it's the year I was born. No, because 1883, think about this. We had a trade dollar, we had a Morgan dollar, we had a gold dollar, we had a Hawaiian dollar. All of those came out in 1883.
Well, it's funny because when I just did my video and I showed a 1879 Morgan, I said that was my birth year, which I really meant that was 100 years before my birth year.
Yeah.
So everybody was giving me shit about being 145 years old.
1883 was also the first year that we released the V-nickel. And there were two different versions of the V-nickel in 1883. And there were a couple other patterns in 1883 that really make it interesting. Matt Wingay says, what was spot when you started buying gold, Dub? So when I first started buying gold in earnest, it was about 700, I think. And then I think it dropped down a little bit more. I think I was buying some in the $400 to $500 range. But honestly, most gold that I have purchased has probably been in the $1,500 range.
Now, you didn't raid the Bill Clinton years when it was 280?
I think the 2-ounce necklace that I have, I bought that and I paid $11.90 for it. So that's kind of the barometer that I use. I try to remember when those prices were. But there are so many people that says I was buying it when it hit the absolute lowest. I don't remember. I was probably buying more silver at that point than gold. Just like all of us, we go through that stage of buying silver. We don't think we can afford gold. We're never going to get there. And then hopefully over time, your disposable income starts to increase and you've got the ability to buy gold. This is another one of those things that I'm worried about now because the price of gold seems so high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's like, I think inflation is kind of holding everything up. I mean, we're used to $7, $8 eggs. We're used to rent being $2,500 if you're in that market. We're just getting used to these different levels, and I think that's where we're at with metals. I think we're getting used to new levels, and I don't think it's going much lower than 30 silver ever again.
I mean, it's possible. Like I said, in the past, I would have been like, this is silly. It's going to drop back down to $18. Be very careful what you're doing. Don't put too many eggs in that basket. But you might be right. I just don't know. I really don't know. And that's kind of funny because when I started the channel 2.5 years ago, I said that on many occasions. I was like, this price of silver in particular is untenable. We're not going to be able to see silver at $25 an ounce indefinitely. That's just not going to happen. And now it's at 34, whatever. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I mean, in a way, I'm kind of glad that I didn't tell people not to buy, not to sell. That wasn't really what I felt my position was. But it's weird. And when I look down at pieces like these, I remember the day that I bought this piece, this probably cost me $1,000, maybe a little bit less than that. And now it's a $3,000 coin, and it's not special. There's nothing special about this. It's a VF. That's actually quite low. You don't see a lot of Liberties that are really this low. This is a somewhat interesting variety where that 3 has a little bit of an extra serif on it. But there's nothing special about this. It got the CAC sticker because it really genuinely is a VF35, but that doesn't really mean much. It's a little bit of a hashed coin. You can see how gnarly this is. It's got all sorts of schmutz stuck in it. But when I bought this $800, $900, whatever it was, and now these are easily a $3,000 coin, that's crazy. That's really bizarre.
Yeah, I can't imagine that those $20 gold pieces got much circulation back even when they were new.
I think those early ones did. I think right after the Civil War, those pieces tended to circulate a little bit. But when you get into the late 1880s to 1890s, they really didn't circulate very much. And it's possible that in the couple of run-ups that gold has had, those pieces just got chucked into the crucible, right? Who would want a VF35 Liberty when you can find an XFAU or even a BU piece for $50 more those were the ones that got melted. So maybe in some way that's what makes it kind of interesting.
Right.
Emerald Co says, random question. I have found most stackers are collectors. What did you collect as a child? Comics, cards, roadkill? No, the answer to that question is coins. I started collecting coins when I was 5 years old. So this is something, when I say that I've been doing this for 30 or 40 years, I mean that in terms of precious metals, but in terms of coins, it's been significantly longer than that.
Littlefoot had a question earlier also. Is there a way to remove red spots, copper, on gold coins, and would you?
So this is something that has come up recently, and it's the heat treatment of gold pieces to remove copper spots. And there have been a couple of channels who have done this. I want to say Sri Tips or Lithic or somebody like that did it. And I didn't get a chance to actually watch those videos, but I did watch, who is it who did that? The Silverstruck, I think, covered that and tried to replicate what they had done and was unsuccessful with it. So this is something that I don't feel comfortable doing. I did watch very carefully what he was doing, what Silverstruck was doing, because I do have a couple pieces that I wouldn't mind getting rid of copper spots. But those are modern pieces. I have a few coins that have copper spots on them. Unfortunately, I don't have them here. They're in the vault still. But I treasure those. I actually like copper spots, and I'm in the minority by far. Copper spots are exactly what they sound like. They're little blotches of either bright red or kind of dulling to kind of a light brown color. This is literally some copper that was in the alloy when these pieces were originally made. And over time, that copper oxidizes just like copper does, and it kind of rises to the surface and it becomes apparent. Some people hate it. For me, I like it, and I think the third-party graders actually kind of dig it too. I think they think of it as being kind of original. But there are some people who think that they have found a way to treat it non-chemically, and I would love to see if that was the case, because I might try it on some new pieces, but I would never try it on vintage.
There's a couple people who suggest put it over a gas stove for a little bit, or use a lighter or a blowtorch.
Somebody was using a map gas, but it's the kind of thing that's a really difficult temperature. Unless you're a welder, you know what you're doing. I don't. I've got equipment, but I don't know how to use it very well. And I would wind up making a mess of it. So it's not something that I'm going to pursue probably.
Yeah, that's crazy. That would be scary.
Yeah. And it's the same thing that I always say, most of my stuff is kind of nice. So I don't really have modern pieces that don't really have any numismatic value. So for me, it would be a little bit dicey.
Yeah.
Littlefoot also wants to know, has anyone ever lost, this is for Dub C and the panel, not for me because I haven't done it, but Blue Collar could answer this as well. Has anyone ever lost a coin in the mail when sending it to be graded?
I've only sent one set in to be graded, so no.
No, it's a really good question. Something that I've done. I've probably sent stuff in for grading a little bit more than a dozen times, maybe 20 times, something like that. And I've never even gotten close. I mean, nothing has even kind of showed up late. Everything has always done exactly what they were supposed to do. Emperor Wang says, Deb C, I notice you have a lot of raw pre-33 gold. Have you been burned with a counterfeit, and what precautions do you take? Yes, Emperor Wang, I have. I have at least 4 pieces of vintage gold, 3 pre-33 pieces that I bought raw and sent to both NGC and PCGS, and they came back counterfeit. So these are, one of them is a 1910, I want to say $10 Indian, and the other 2 were $2.50 gold pieces, or maybe a 5. I think it was 2.5s. And I talk about I actually have a 3-part video where I talk about counterfeit gold coins.
So were they gold, but just not the pre-33?
Correct. They were gold. In this case, they were 22 karat gold rather than 90% gold. So 91.67% pure instead of 90% like they were supposed to be. And that's the irony of a lot of replica coins is that they're actually a higher percentage gold than they're supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Emperor Wang, that happened to him too. I mean, the problem is that, especially for the $10 gold piece, it was stunning. And I thought, maybe this has a chance of 65, maybe even a 66, or is this possibly some kind of a special matte proof? And this was probably 12 years ago, 10 years ago, something like that. So I was all excited. I laid down my money, and one of the older guys, as I was walking out the door, said, "Be careful with that." And I was like, "What do you mean? I'm not going to drop it." He goes, "Be careful with what you're expecting for that grade." And I was like, "You don't know what you're talking about. This piece is amazing." But that's exactly what he meant. He could tell that that piece was likely a counterfeit. And there are certain tells that you can use. Mrs. Mustard wants to know what was the coin that I just showed, the hold coin. So that's a Turkish piece, and that's a pretty old Turkish piece. This is 2 Rumi Altın from Muhammad II. That's 1817. The year of Muhammad of I-223. That is the year that Rumi Altın was, or Muhammad II was ruling. So this is a tradition in this part of the world. This would be modern day Turkey. It was the Ottoman Empire, that they would take these large coins. And this is it's a very large coin, but it's very, very thin. You can see the edge in that.
Holy cow.
So this is a very thin coin, and they would put them on the bride's dress or the groom's costume, whatever it was, when they got married in a traditional marriage. And this was a way to give the young couple a little bit of financial security, the same way we would give them a check for $500 or $600 or whatever, at the wedding party.
Damn, I'm going to invite you to my wedding.
I might have to get married all over again.
This still goes on to this day for Turkish couples. There are still some who really look forward to these. And the interesting thing is that so many of these pieces were holed at that period of time that collectors of series like these disregard the holes. It's so common that they don't even really think about that. So interesting. That's one of the only experiences or the only examples that I can think of where hardcore collectors don't mind that kind of damage because it's just something that was done.
So it took us to get Dub C on the panel to gain Bellows Forge back. Welcome back, Bellows Forge.
Good to see Bellows Forge.
Yeah, Bellows, we haven't seen you in a while, buddy. We missed you.
Dub C, you got him back for us.
I'm glad that everybody has joined us this evening. I know that Monday is not my typical day to be doing live. I think all of us can agree that we try not to step on each other's toes. And I feel really bad if I have to be somewhere and I've got to have a video that goes live when somebody else has the potential to do that. Certainly not something that I ever plan on doing. There are a few YouTubers who I don't love, but they are very few and far between. And even in that sense, I wouldn't intentionally try to step on somebody else's time slot. It's not like we have an arrangement or anything. But I think we do a pretty good job of sticking to it. So you guys having a Monday night show, I think it's pretty recognized, and that's why I have no problem being here. I'm thrilled that anybody's here. Southeast Stacker, good to see you. Emerald Coast as always. Robert Wojciechowski, Death from Below. Emerald, I was roll hunting in the 60s. I think I saw that you mentioned that you were buying when it was really cheap. I wasn't roll hunting in the 60s, but I was buying in the early 80s, 90%.
Getting back to like what you said with the time slot thing, that's why I sort of got with LBS and Blue Collar about Monday nights, because it was like open. Sundays there's people that do it Wednesday, then Friday, and it's my day off, and it just sort of fit. So it was cool.
I think that's really nice that we try to protect each other that way. And what's really amazing is that I think that there are a myriad of different opinions and different styles, and we don't really see a lot of cattiness among YouTubers. I mean, we seem to actually get along pretty well. And, the very worst that I see people doing is sometimes they ignore somebody. But there doesn't seem to be outright warfare with anybody. And I think that's really cool because you kind of expect that in this kind of sometimes high pressure, sometimes very visible environment. Kind of neat that we don't do that.
Yeah, really haven't seen much of that at all.
I mean, there's a little bit here and there. There's a little bit of he said, she said, but the drama seems to stay at a pretty good stance, and I think that's pretty cool.
Blue Collar and I have said before, like if you try and go on somebody else's time, it's only hurting yourself too, because there's only so many people that are going to tune in, and if you're trying to split between another channel, it's just not going to be good for either one of you.
I think that's fair. I think that's a really good observation
thing too. It's just
yeah,
just one of those things. Robert P says, "Can you all share your favorite coin you collected over the years?"
So I've been talking for a long time, and I'm not trying to steal anybody's thunder here, that I will start showing my real coin collection at some point this year. I've been promising it for about 2 years. And one of the reasons why I did the videos that I did recently, the video that I launched last Friday about coin storage, was so I could eventually get to my real coin collection. But I don't want to disclose what my favorite coin is right now because I will be talking about those in upcoming videos. But I'm anxious to hear what Blue Collar in Vegas have to say.
Yeah, I think I'm too new really to have a favorite coin. I love my Morgans. I've got some graded Morgans, which I don't have out here. But yeah, I'm partial to the Morgans. That's a pretty known fact, though.
My favorite coin? I don't know. I like blue. I'm with Blue Collar. It's only been like a year and a half since I started stacking. I would have to say it's not a coin. It's a bar.
Okay.
Well, this is a coin, and this is pretty freaking cool. This one is. I like the detail on this one.
It's a beautiful piece.
It is, yeah.
The high relief.
Yeah.
But that might be my favorite as far as coin wise.
That is a coin, by the way.
Yeah. But as far as like my favorite silver piece might have to be this.
That's a cool piece too.
And it's a Haley-Bug piece. It's actually a piece. I was looking at the Haley-Bug website and my wife was peeking over my shoulder. And my wife is really big into butterflies. So she said, I want that, but you can have it. So I had to buy it for her, but I get to hold on to it. So that might be my favorite piece because it has more meaning to me than any other piece that I really have.
And not to mention, it kills two birds with one stone, right?
Absolutely. I get to have 4 ounces of silver and she gets to be happy.
And she thinks it's hers, you know?
Exactly.
Oh, AJ, I hope you're listening.
Well, I don't think she is. She might be trying to sleep. I don't know. I heard her yelling at the dog, so the dogs might be bugging her.
Yeah, my dog's freaking out because my stupid son. I'm not even going to get into it.
So Littlefoot says he needs an answer that is good here, Dub C. How are we getting milk spots off? Everyone says melt.
Yeah, well, there's no way to get them. I mean, you can be really aggressive, but you ruin the coin doing that. So I just don't think there's a way to do it. I mean, I think that that's just part of this generation of coins. I think it will be solved. I think that problem will be solved. But I don't think there's any way to get rid of it once they are on a coin. That's just the problem with modern coins.
Now, has that problem been solved by the Royal Canadian Mint?
You know, they know what they're doing. The Royal Canadian Mint is no joke. They are very good at what they do. So it's possible. But they were also one of the hardest hit ones.
Yeah, without question. I'm trying to find the two 2009s that I cleaned off in the live video. I did.
Your mic went muffled for some reason. Emperor Wang says his favorite coin is a numismatic piece. It's a token. It's a Chuck E. Cheese token from 1983. Says I have it because my dad took me and my brothers to Chuck E. Cheese after work.
That's very cool. Sweet. Yeah, that's cool.
That's a meaning to you.
I have.
Put in the chat what your favorite coin is. Your favorite coin around. Put in the chat. That'd be interesting to see everybody.
See what everybody's is. I have one of my oldest coins, and I've showed it in the stack distraction video on copper, and that was a really early piece, bronze piece that I bought when I was probably 7 or 8 years old, and that was like 200 AD, something like that.
Nice.
I have like some random coin I bought like when I was a kid. I remember there was a coin show at the mall, and I went, and I don't know what I did with it. Like I saw it, and I'm sure it's worth nothing, but it's funny because I was sort of getting into that stuff then, but I never stuck into it. Baseball cards took my interest instead.
I had a pretty nice collection of comic books, but I wound up selling them really cheap. And now, of course, the ones that I picked were probably really good ones.
That's how it always goes, isn't it? You know, you get rid of that piece and you're like, well, shit, I should have kept that.
That's right. And that's the whole thing I talk about attrition, you know. That's why those pieces are valuable, because who knows how many thousands or tens of thousands of really good comic books got ruined. But I had the Ronin set. I had the original G.I. Joes on Baxter paper. I think I had 5 copies of it. I had a really nice early X-Men. And I mean, I just had everything that was coming out in that period of time, that would have been early 80s, 82, 83. I had really nice copies of, and even duplicates. But I tossed it all. That's the one that you cleaned online?
Yeah,
Or
this is one of them. Let me fluff it up, and you can bust my balls if you want. I got big balls, and I can handle it. All right,
ACDC.
so
silver. That's really cool. That's Lake Renan. That sounds really interesting. Yeah, I mean it's bullion, right? If you are happy with it, there's nothing wrong with it. And I want to be clear: if people want to clean bullion, you're probably not going to get any numismatists up in arms. We don't really care that much.
God
But
damn
you
it,
guys know that
Wolfons.
I don't clean my bullion pieces. I don't clean.
Yeah, and this is something like I wouldn't sell this. This will probably go in my coffin.
Right. Okay.
You know, along with the rest of my silver, which is probably not going to happen. My kids will sell it all, but but no, I mean, these were riddled, absolutely riddled with milk spots. I mean, completely covered.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I know nobody, you know, nobody, everybody frowns upon it. Let's say that, and I even frown upon it. Like I won't do that to a Morgan, but you know, I think a bullion piece, like you said, I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Counterfeit wanted to know if anybody's ever given their wife a key to the safe, but filled the safe's keyholes with super glue.
My safe doesn't have a key.
Mine does not either. Mine does not either. My
My
wife
safe-
knows the combination, but that's
Yeah.
she
My
doesn't
safe
know what I
deposit
have.
boxes nobody can get into but me and the bank.
Yeah. Do you find that to be inconvenient though? Like
Yes.
when you want to get something and you got to
Yes,
drive there.
it's very inconvenient, but
Yeah.
I also wouldn't do it any other way. And I know we used to started a little bit of a conversation in the last live stream when I was talking about that. I made a comment on a post, and somebody got kind of up in arms about the entire concept of banks having access to your precious metals and so on. And I do think that that's a concern. I just think that it's, I would rather have it there than somewhere where somebody can easily get to it.
Right.
We always figured you just owned a bank, so it was just easier for you.
On that, you're not too far off, but no. In the case of this, I wouldn't crap where my dinner is served, or whatever the expression is. So
where
yeah,
you eat.
in that case, even if I was the full owner of a bank, I wouldn't probably keep my stuff there.
So we've established that you're actually a shareholder in a bank.
Well, I mean, everybody who's got mutual funds is probably a shareholder in a bank.
This is true. Hey, I own part of a silver mine.
There you go.
Yeah.
How's that working out anyway?
It's actually working out pretty good. The stock is up, and well, last I checked, anyway. Finally, actually started getting positive on it.
Let me see. Where is it at?
One of these days, I've got to actually put that to use. I've got to use that discount.
They're overpriced. Oh, they're overpriced.
I don't know. Some of their stuff is pretty reasonable, I thought.
Well, yeah, their stock's at 809.
Look
Not
what
bad.
I found. Oh, shit.
Emerald Coast says hell with a gnaw to a safe deposit box. I get it. I really do. But, probably 20 years ago, I was thinking about buying a safe for my collection. And someone said, all right, so do you know where you're going to keep it? And I said, yeah, I've got a pretty good idea. And they said, are you going to bolt it down? And I said, should I? And they said, yes, definitely bolt it down. So you literally have to bolt it in place. Okay, I can probably do that. And then they said, now what happens when somebody comes to the door with a gun and puts a gun to your head, or your significant other's head, or your child's head, for God, I hope that never happens. And they say, open the safe. What are you going to do? You're going to open the safe. You're going to open the safe, right? So does a safe at home really make sense under those circumstances? It does, sure, in some circumstances, right? In some situations, if you're worried about tornadoes or hurricanes, if you are not in an environment where someone's going to walk into your house with a gun, then they can make sense. But if somebody walks into your house, puts a gun in your hand, and says, open the safe, and you say, I don't have anything here, everything I have is at the bank, you're welcome to what's in my wallet. They may still shoot you, but they're going to have second thoughts.
Right. That's true. At that point, it's just all material things anyway. It's like, go ahead and take it and deal with
Right.
it after the
So
fact
then
anyway.
what's the purpose of having a safe, right? And I get both sides of the arguments, but I think most people don't understand that that scenario probably happens every bit as much as you being on vacation and somebody breaking into your house when you're not there. If they come into the house in the middle of the night, or if they come to the house while you're eating dinner, are you going to be strapped? Maybe, but if you're not, then they're going to get whatever's in your safe anyway.
Well, I know
So
Vegas is going to be strapped.
That actually happened out here where somebody was trying to rob somebody and they took them in there, took them to their safe, and they took the gun out of the person's safe and tried to shoot the homeowner with it, but it jammed.
see, I mean, you can game
So
it out any way you want, and I see that FG has a really good point. That is, if the bank closes suddenly, are you going to have access to your stuff? I mean, it's always kind of that situation. You don't ever know what's going to happen. So, do you have I know Bella's Forge is talking about having multiple safes. Are you going to have a dummy safe that's got fake stuff in it, a bunch of proof sets that nobody wants? I mean, you can game it out as far as you want to. For me, it just makes more sense to have safe deposit boxes. I know it's not what everybody thinks. I know that it's not a very popular opinion, but I think for me it makes sense. And I see that Fordine says he's always strapped.
I always keep mine under the dog's food bowl, so it's usually safe.
Good to know that, man. I'm glad to know that. I thought this was kind of interesting. You guys saw this one. This is a Rattler slabbed PCGS early variety slab, MS61, and it's a green CAC. This is an example of a coin that probably should not have been a 61. If you see this in person, you immediately would say this is a 63, maybe even a 64. And this is one of my favorite examples of this. Nobody would ever notice this. And I'm not sure that you guys are going to be able to see it, but you see right above the eagle's claw.
There's a little star.
Yeah, so I'll see if I can get it with LLC's pointer right there. That's actually a chop mark or a punch.
No kidding.
Wow.
Somebody punched into it. And I had this coin for probably 4 years, looking over it constantly, trying to figure out why this would have been a 61. A 61 is kind of a code for the coin being a dog. This is just something they used to do. There's really no such thing as a 61. If you see a coin with a 61 grade on it, that means this is a problematic coin. And that was kind of the grader's way of telling you that gently. But it took me forever to notice it. I sent it off to CAC and they still agreed that it was a 61, but a 61 is kind of a weird grade. But then I finally noticed that. Isn't that crazy?
Now that you just said that, all 3 of my GSAs came back 61s.
They're all dogs.
I mean, they are, generally speaking. GSAs are kind of a weird hybrid. They are an uncirculated coin, and they were uncirculated for 100 years in those bank bags. Are they still in GSAs? I don't remember. Are they in the GSA holder, or did you pop them out?
Yeah, no, they're in the GSA holder.
And they've got the CAC stickers on them that just say 61s?
No, they're CAC graded.
Right, so they've got the band on it?
They do have the band, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. And in that instance, I wouldn't be too concerned about a 61. That's still a beautiful coin. And the fact that CAC has graded it, that CAC is pretty harsh when it comes to grading. They're very strict. So I think a lot of people would see a 61 CAC and think 62, maybe even a 63. So you're fine there. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and I wasn't really disappointed in it, but I did have higher expectations, I got to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been there before. I've done the same thing with probably 5 or 6 of the GSA packs. And it's always a really weird gamble. And everybody acts like they've never been searched before. If you're finding them in a really old collection that somebody bought directly from the GSA, then you've got some potential. But if you ever find one in a coin shop, that piece has been looked over by 1 million people.
Right, exactly. And it's been rejected and not put in.
Yeah, for exactly that reason.
For good reason, yeah.
But is that a colorized piece of silver you have there?
It is. That's a good eye, man. This is the only, I think, silver art bar that I have that's actually enameled. And I showed this one, I think, 3rd quarter update of last year, just because I got all excited when I saw it, because the enameling is really beautiful. And I didn't know that much about art bars up until, I still don't. This is a field that I'm really learning right now. but I knew enough to know that if you've got a really high quality piece of enamel, and what you're looking at, generally speaking, when it comes to artwork like that, you're looking at the number of colors that you have, because really every single one of those has to be done individually. So you're looking at the light green of the holly in his hair, the light green of his eyes, the red of his glasses, the red of his lips. All of these different colors have to be done individually. So I snagged this from a local store, was super excited to get it home. Didn't recognize the name of it. That TM, there are a lot of people who collect art bars and know that that means the mint. A very uninteresting name for a silver art bar maker. A low serial number, right? 41. But then I noticed the date. I had not paid any attention to the date after I bought it until I was looking at it when I got it home. 1986 is very late in the realm of silver art bars. They really stopped being made in 77, 78, something like that. So I thought I had just bought something totally stupid. Would you believe it turns out that that is a very valuable bar?
That's
and
interesting.
I had no idea.
Seen, that's the first
Enameled bar?
like vintage older bar that I've seen that's colorized like that.
Yeah, so
this newer ones, but not like older ones.
This was kind of a popular thing, but it was really hit or miss. But there are certain bars in certain eras, and I've always said that if you've got classic vintage, like Halloween bars, those are really exciting. Is it Emperor Wang that has those? Somebody in the chat, I think, actually has a collection of those. So if you find vintage, really high quality vintage Halloween bars, they can have some serious value. And if you get a really high quality one that's enameled, nicely done, it's all about the quality, right? And the quality on this is really nice. If you find one that's really, really well done, especially multiple colors, they can have some very serious value. I got lucky with this one. This one's probably worth $150, $200, something like that.
Yeah,
I appreciate the chat is saying that they like it too. So I'll just show another really quick look at it. I just, when I saw it, it was with a bunch of other bars, and I thought, oh, all of those were dated 73, 74, 75. I thought this was one of those. And it was totally stupid of me, harebrained, to not have just looked down and seen the 1986 date. So I thought it was really pretty. This is a really well done bar. And also, it's not just the quality of the enamel work. It's the fact that this is in really nice condition. It could have been beautiful enamel, but beat up. Then this one is just in pristine shape. So this one is, I got incredibly lucky with that one. I will be talking about, I think, Friday night's video, if I can plug myself, if you guys want to watch. Absolutely. My Friday night video is probably going to be my second quarter update of 2025. And I've got a bunch of silver art bars to talk about.
That's something you said you just started dabbling in. That's a LBS thing. LBS got me into vintage bars, and I've sort of gotten away from it now because it can be pricey once you get into certain stuff.
Yeah, I've had pieces, over the years. I've had a few of them, and I showed a couple of them, like this bar. I bought this probably 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. So I've had some of these, and this is one of those that I kept just because I thought it was such beautiful work. When I'm looking at pieces, people often ask me what I decide to pick up and what makes me do that. It's not all about the quality, but a lot of it is the quality. Mustard, good to see you. I'm glad that you were able to be with us for a little while. So you never go wrong with getting a high quality piece. It may not be the most rare, it may not be the oldest, but quality is really, really important. And I've picked up a few silver art bars over the years, but as I've said several times in my videos, this was always kind of the thing that the weird uncle would have collected back in the day when I was buying for real, when I was really after a lot of pieces. It was just something that was kind of silly and cringy and all that kind of stuff. So I've bought a few over the years, but I was never very into it. But in the last 2 years, I've probably really started getting into it a little bit more and trying to get some interesting stuff. Littlefoot says, Dub C, have you heard of National Refining Systems Incorporated? I have a tenants bar that looks older. It doesn't sound familiar. I'd probably have to see a picture of it, Littlefoot, but if it looks older, there's a good chance that it is. Is it a poured bar, or is it a milled or stamped bar? An extruded bar, I think they call them.
Mm-hmm.
I missed a Armor Honor joke. I shouldn't have done that.
Oh, Emperor Wang did a video, and Tom Arnold was hosted the video, actually. Guest hosted the video, I should say.
Interesting. No, I did not see that one.
Oh, you got to see that one.
Okay,
That's
I'll
awesome.
take a look at it.
Now, at first I thought it might have been AI, but I can't. It looks real to me.
That's disturbing.
It is. It was very well done. I don't know. I don't know much about it. So if you can, blue collar, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I think I found the bar that he was talking about.
You want to fluff you up?
Yeah, go ahead and put it up there.
All right, you're fluffed.
Oh, this one that's share screen, the one next to mine in the backstage.
Oh, okay, got you.
Is this the one? I'm guessing that's what he's talking about.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Oh yeah, National Refining Systems Inc. Yeah, 10-ounce little Kit Kat bar.
I want to say that surface is kind of stippled. It's got a little bit of a texture to it. I think I've seen them before, but I don't own one. No. Interesting, especially with that back serial number on it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, serial number on the back.
Yeah, good job finding that, Vegas.
I like it.
It says made in the early 80s.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's one of those kind of weird transitional pieces that was between old school poured bars and pieces that were coming out that were probably more extruded or milled, but they kept a little bit of that poured aesthetic to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a little footy, right? It looks like it's cast, but I'm not sure that it is. So kind of a transition between those two. It's a cool piece. Very cool piece.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely cool. It from the top, it looks like a little Kit Kat bar from the top.
Yeah, it does.
It goes for 533 on AppMex, so it's probably worth like 433 in real life.
Yeah.
Emperor Wang says that was really Tom Arnold. That's really cool. I'll have to try to find him, man. That sounds awesome.
Now, Emperor Wang, you had said that you could get him on Monday Night Metals. You got to come through with that, dude. We're going to bring Tom Arnold on Monday Night Metals. That's what E. Wang said.
PETA for life, welcome in. Singus Dent. There's a couple new names in here tonight. Singus Dent.
PETA's been around. Actually, PETA and I just followed each other on Whatnot.
Oh, see?
Yeah. Where you been,
Shows
Vegas?
what I know.
Where you been,
well,
buddy?
I'm not. I don't know who's following you on Whatnot and who's not. What the?
Everybody
who's not and what's not? You are a Whatnot celebrity.
I wouldn't go that far. Oh,
why not?
Man.
Dub C, have you checked out Whatnot yet?
I have stopped by and looked at it a little bit. Am I right in assuming that it's kind of a mix between YouTube and eBay? You actually have kind of interaction with people and you're selling it the entire time?
Yeah, that like and a little bit of Las Vegas thrown in there too.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's fun. If that's what floats your boat, that's great.
I'm going to put for the chat. This is a link to Emperor Wang's video. You don't have to check it out right now. Don't leave us. Stick around with us, but click on that and check it out later. It is hilarious. If I don't know. It might really be Tom Arnold. I don't know.
He says it is, man. I put a star on it. I don't know what that does, if it does anything, but I starred the comment. Maybe you could find it easier later.
Oh, maybe it pins it to the top or something. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I have no idea.
What else we got going on in the chat? Littlefoot said he paid $300 for that bar 2 months ago. No way. That's a great deal.
Done, man. That's great.
A great pickup. Hell yeah, dude. 300.
Great deal.
I would definitely have picked that up for 300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a nice little A-Mark bar that I picked up, I don't know, maybe like a month ago for $330. It was a beaut. Let's see if I could dig it out here out of my freaking... Oh, there it is. Looks like it's in OGP.
I was happy when I got... What the hell? What was that? I got a vintage bar like that, and I thought I scored. And it wasn't bad.
It's a nice little A-Mark bar. I'm thinking about unwrapping it. Who agrees? Who disagrees?
No.
No?
What the hell's wrong with you, man? Cleaning stuff, unwrapping stuff. I'll punch you in the head.
It's leaking though because it's not airtight.
Yeah, I mean a lot of them weren't at that period, and it's survived for a long time. But if it's really beat up, then yeah. But if it's not beat up, then it's doing a great job. Go ahead and leave it.
I can't tell honestly if it's beat up because the plastic is kind of discolored. But
Looks
I
good to
think the
me.
bar is probably pristine.
All right.
I mean, how bad could it be, right?
I think this is my favorite art bar that I have.
Pump him up. I
Let me
can't see it.
zoom in. Hold on.
And then I was told to take it out of the flip that it was in, so I took it out of the flip that it was in.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, that's cool, man. I like that one.
Give a hoot, don't pollute. Is that Smokey the Bear?
Oh yeah, that's a Swiss piece. That's really cool. That's
Yeah,
CHI. So that was a forerunner, I think, of PAMP or something like that. That's a cool piece.
I was told to take it out of the flip that it was in, so I took it out of the flip.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, that's one of the things that I talked about in the video where I talked about coin storage techniques, and that I'm going to have to eventually move to getting all of these pieces out of the vinyl and into the airtights or whatever it is that everybody uses.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it's just naked. It's
So you're
not
gonna
afraid,
cave
but
in?
it's naked.
You're gonna cave in and capsulize everything?
I might encapsulate the silver art bars. It kind of feels
absolutely.
like they have too much potential to get gnarly, being in the vinyl wraps.
Yeah, I would say I probably got, oh my God, I don't even know how much money. I'm not even gonna go into how much money I got in capsules, but I probably got like 400 or 500 coins in capsules right now.
They're so expensive.
Oh, they are. But you know what? I mean, you can handle them, you can touch them, you can feel them.
Yeah, I mean,
don't have to
I've
worry
got.
about it. Look at that. Look at all this vintage. Oh, beautiful.
Oh yeah, no coins, definitely not in capsules. But I'm talking about silver art bars.
Yeah. I got a shitload of them too, and in these tubs. I don't know where, but somewhere. Oh.
Rub C schooled me on this bar, on the vintage Silvertown bar that I found.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. That's a really nice one.
And I remember he said, since it says fine, that means that it's the vintage, because they did do remakes of them, right?
Correct.
Like newer versions of them.
Yeah, so that's a legit bar. That's a good piece.
Hey, Vegas, I found my gold panda.
Hey, there you go. I almost lost mine today too.
Just hanging out in the bag here.
Guys, we managed to lose everybody in the chat. They went to watch Emperor Wang's video.
Perfect.
Yeah. No, we still got 26 people in there. Come on.
Hey, everybody who's joined us tonight, thank you so much for being with us here, with me here especially, because the other guys, who cares? But it's nice to have you join me on a Monday night. It's nice of them to ask me. I really appreciate that. Anybody have any questions about anything that I have laid out, you're welcome to ask. I know that it almost feels like we've been ignoring the chat. Trust me, not ignoring the chat, just kind of trying to show you as many cool pieces as I thought I could squeeze in here.
Well,
we've been answering their questions and
highlighting the questions on the screen. So we're getting there. We're it's not easy following the chat. I'm terrible at that.
It takes a little bit of doing, and I can't believe that people think that I'm good at it, because I always feel like I'm falling behind, but I try. I make an effort.
So B Taylor says, so now I need an art bar. You need several art bars, B Taylor.
Keep your eyes open. So the cool thing about art bars is that this was really the first chance that most consumers ever got to see 999 silver. We had 90% silver up and through 1964. We had 40% silver from 1965 to 1970, whenever the last of the Kennedy half dollars was made. But there was definitely kind of a vacuum created, people who wanted to own silver, and the silver art bar was really the first thing that came on the market. So this is really where all of this that you're watching, that we are participating in, it all really began with these silly, stupid art bars in 1971, 72, that kind of area. And by the end of the bicentennial, 1976, they were really essentially gone. So this was a very short-lived but incredibly prolific period of time. Mm-hmm. And easily half of the art bars that were made were melted, have been melted since then. So it's a fascinating area that I always thought was cringy and stupid, and I always avoided, with a few exceptions that I've talked about here. But it's really been in the last couple of years that I've been, you know what? The 10-ounce bars, they're so expensive, and I've got so many of them. And of course, if I see something cool, I'm going to pick it up. And gold is so expensive, and I have such specific tastes when it comes to these things. So shifting focus to art bars, you can often find them for $1 or $2 over melt. Most of these are 50 years old. Most of them have a very small mintage that has been decimated from melting. So there is a lot of potential with these, and I think there's a lot of renewed interest. It's not like I'm the only person who started to realize that there may be something to some of these.
Absolutely. So
Bellows,
Doug,
go ahead, man.
Bellows Forge wants to know, what's the story on the history with your Native American blanket?
And everybody asks about the blanket, and I've talked about it a couple times, and I certainly don't blame people who haven't watched every single one of my videos where I've talked about the blanket. But my family is originally from, my mom's family is originally from the American Southwest. And when I was a kid, we were traveling in that area, in that region. And there was a gift shop at one of the national parks. And I want to say it was Mesa Verde. And local artists were selling stuff. This is actually Navajo. And it was the kind of thing that my family had always been interested in. And I think we felt a little bit cheesy buying something at the actual gift shop at the lodge at Mesa Verde, because that's so touristy. But back then it wasn't really so much tourist trap stuff. It was actually pretty high quality stuff made by hand. And this is one of the pieces that my family picked up. So nice. Because this has been part of my family's history, and the style of piece and the type of piece that it was something that would have been carried in my family shop in the early 1970s and even before. I've always thought it was a beautiful piece. And when I first decided to shoot a video, I needed something to put on a granite countertop that was going to protect the coins and also mitigate some of the glare. So this was the first thing I grabbed. I knew that nobody else had a Navajo piece like this out there, and it's kind of become what people are used to seeing now. I still get some grief. Some people really hate it, which is kind of weird, but it's whatever.
That is kind of weird.
I've seen a lot of, I've seen people put it down on like microfiber towels and stuff. So I dig them. I dig the blanket instead.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that it means something to me personally, but it also does a really nice job of protecting the coins, and it's American history, and I'm a big American fan, always have been, proud to be an American, and this is something that is of our shared history, for better or worse. So lots of different elements, so lots of different things going on there, and if you can't see them, those figures there are 3 figures there. They are YEI, that is yay. And that is kind of a holy spiritual being in the Navajo faith. So it's a typical thing that you would see in a blanket like this. Littlefoot asks, Dub C, thoughts on fractional gold. Fractional, you're talking about California fractional, you're talking about 10th ounce eagles, you're talking about pre-33 smaller pieces. What exactly are you thinking about?
Really quick, I want to get to Singus Dent says, I'm not a vintage guy, but I definitely need some bars now, thanks to you. A good place for vintage bars, I think, are pawn shops.
Yeah,
because
true.
Generally, right. They sell on weight. They don't know what they have. They don't care what they have. They know what they paid for it, and they just want a little more than that. They don't care if it's a 5-ounce Engelhardt bar or whatever. I know my brother gets vintage bars and stuff for like $1.50 over spot at the pawn shop, but if he were to go to his coin shop, he'd be paying $3 or $4 over for the same product. So that's just my little tip on art bar, like vintage bars.
Yeah, so, you're lucky enough to find somebody. Always keep in mind that for me, at least, it's not just about the vintage, it's about the condition. You don't want to pay a premium. You want the rarest bar you can find. That takes a lot of experience. And that's one of the things that I'll talk about in my second quarter update, is that I have flown blind and bought several pieces this quarter that I'll be talking about here. That did not work out for me. I used my best judgment. I went with my gut. I knew the pieces had age. I knew the condition was there, and the price wasn't bad. And when I got home and did the actual research, they were not as good as I hoped they would be. I still got some pretty cool pieces, but I definitely bought some pieces that had I known better, I would not have bought. Littlefoot, to answer your question, 10th ounce.
So even you have regrets. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm perfectly willing to admit that I make mistakes periodically. I do have some smaller pieces. You're looking at, this is a nugget, right? That's Australian. These are 10th Krugerrands. Those are 10th Eagles. Those are 10th Eagles. So I was buying them, believe it or not. I actually have a couple of 1 gram pandas. I was buying when these made sense. I like, as a denomination for American Eagles, I like the quarter Eagles the best. So if you're going to buy fractional, to me, I wouldn't go that small. I would rather go with something like the quarter eagles. Those are 10th maples. So I do have some, but not really my favorite. You know, at these prices, it's hard to get into that field. And I've talked before several times about how much I like ducats. And I know that not everybody likes ducats as much as I do. I think they make a lot of sense. If you're really into the fractional pieces, they are something that bears exploring, because they are, instead of 0.1 of a troy ounce, they are 0.11 of a troy ounce. And they cost about the same amount as a 1/10 of an ounce. So the trick to that is the video that I did called stack tack, whatever it was, hack, stack hack, that you buy 9 of these. They cost you essentially as much as 10 1/10 ounce, and you get the 10th for free, kind of.
Yeah, you're getting 10% more gold for less.
10% more gold, and it really costs essentially the same amount. Your mileage may vary, prices may have changed, but that was the stack hack that I could offer people.
Yeah, that's good advice. Very good advice.
Mexican gold is sexy, Stuart. You're definitely right.
Littlefoot also wants to know when you're going to start freaking people out and calling 90% gold junk gold.
Junk gold. That's probably a reference to the junk silver is not stupid video that has blown up and continues to be going like crazy. No, I respect 90% and I don't call it junk, not very often. I mean, if I'm using shorthand among people who use that term, I will use it, but I like 90%. That's what I've always used. It is kind of funny that we don't call gold, pre-33 gold, 90% also. We call it pre-33 instead.
You know, the term junk silver doesn't really offend me at all.
It's not so much offend me. It's just, why? Why would you call it junk? I mean, it's not. So why do you call it that?
Right.
That's the same reason I don't use the term constitutional, for kind of the same reason. That's not what the Constitution says. And I know that some people like the word constitutional. It makes it feel like it's kind of more official, or that's what your dealer called it when you first started buying it. But if you read the Constitution, it does say that money should be made out of gold and silver, but that's not what the Constitution says that money is. The Constitution essentially says that the federal government has the right to tell you what money is. The references to gold and silver are that states can't run up bills. States can't run up bills that's not backed by gold or silver. But it's not what the federal government can do. The federal government could call a stack of bricks money, and you'd have to use it for money.
Right.
And the Constitution actually says that. So the reason why I don't use the word constitutional is because that's not really what it says either. 90% to me is right. Junk silver sounds like it's a disparaging thing, and I'm not like I'm offended if somebody says junk silver, but that's just not what I think of when I think of junk.
It's crazy right now, the prices on it right now. Like, you can get it under melt.
Pre-33 or 90% silver?
90% silver.
My local shops are charging a premium, and they're charging a pretty substantial premium for it. So if you're able to get it less than that, I think it's kind of a regional thing, and it probably has a lot to do with supply and demand. A lot of what shops charge you are what they have to charge to replenish their stock. So it's not necessarily a reflection of what the actual market is doing. It's what they're going to have to pay to get that stuff back in inventory. So for me here locally, 90% is outrageous. It's expensive. So.
That was like from Vermilion, the Vermilion in Florida, and the one in South Dakota.
Coin and bullion, up in South Dakota.
South Dakota or North Dakota?
One of those Dakotas.
One of the Dakotas.
Yeah. But like he said he had somebody dump a bunch on him though. Like, I can't remember how much he said. It was like in the thousands of face value. So that makes sense, like what you're saying. So they're just overloaded. So, but with the wholesaler that I've recently got connected with, they're charging spot. I mean, I can pick it up junk silver, or I'm sorry, 90% silver at spot. And that's a nationwide wholesaler.
It's a great way to do it, man. That really is. And, you have to use the same keys that I try to reinforce constantly, that looks for the best quality pieces. So don't get the slicks unless you're getting seeded dimes, if you can get barbers that are XF condition, that's awesome. If you can get Mercs that are AU condition, that's great. If you're going to buy Roosevelts, make sure they're real high AU, if not BU. And the same thing is kind of true of the quarters and the halves. You want to go with the best quality that you can possibly get. And there's nothing wrong with people that go for the 1963 Roosevelts or the 1964 Kennedy halves. Always going to have the highest amount of silver by volume. But spend some time, if you can, and try to get these pieces really, really inexpensively and build up a nice collection of 90%. Like I say all the time, modern silver bars and silver rounds are being pumped out by the millions every single day, but 90% is disappearing every single day.
Yeah, they've been melting it. So, and a lot of it. Vermilion said one of his refineries just melted 75,000 face of 90%.
And
that's amazing.
That's nothing new. That's the kind of thing that happens every week in this country and has for 50 years. I mean, this stuff is going to disappear and it's going to shock people.
Well, that's it. It's like every piece they melt makes every piece I got more valuable.
That's right. I mean, that's the whole idea of attrition. That's why I constantly harp on that too. I just wanted to give a shout out to Sir Sloth III. He's in the chat and he's one of the folks that won one of the 6,000 subscriber giveaway pieces from
nice.
So congratulations to him also.
Yeah, what is he talking about? The buffalo rounds with the privy.
So that's the it's not the buffalo, it's the Indian head. It's got the Indian head on that side and the skull on the other side.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
The hobo nickel looking.
Yeah.
The ones that you gave away.
Yeah. He's one of the 6 winners for it.
I got you. Those are awesome. Friggin' really
cool
awesome.
Really thrilled. And I confirmed with them we're the only ones that get the star privy mark. So, they probably have 50 other privy marks, but it's really kind of cool. Sir Sloth asks if I have mine to show. I think I do. If you guys can ignore me walking across the room for a second here.
Wait, hold on.
I would never ignore you, Dub. Yeah, Littlefoot, $1,000 face value and 90% is worth about 26,000. Yeah, if you watch what we were Minot, he said somebody dumped a bunch on him, and I think that's a lot of like old time collectors or just people that inherit it. That they inherit it and they take it right to the coin shop because now they don't care about it.
Yeah, I mean that's the way that I've gotten the hoards that I've picked up recently. Is the heirs to these estates don't know, they don't care, they're not interested.
And the price is up, so they're like, okay, now is the right time to get rid of Grandpa Bill's junk silver we got down there in the basement, or they don't know what it is. Yeah.
Yep.
That is a cool piece.
That is a cool piece. I'm really thrilled with it. Once again, for anybody that won that's out there, they're going to take a while. These are going to take a while to make, but they are very cool.
You had 2 people that didn't claim it, right?
We're down to 1 person now.
1 now? That's cool.
Yeah. So I think we'll probably have that person by the end of the week. At least I hope we do. But if we don't hear by them by the end of the week, I will probably give it to the next person on the list. I don't want to delay anybody else getting their pieces.
Gotcha.
You definitely picked out the right people to do the work. That's for sure.
Just a neat piece.
No, it's absolutely beautiful.
I'm glad that people like it so much. That was just a neat opportunity. And, if I ever get to 7,000, we'll do something kind of cool too. But who knows when that's going to be.
Probably next week.
Yeah, you never know.
Up to about 6,800 now, aren't you?
No. Last I looked, we had just broken 62.
Oh, okay. So 2 weeks.
Yeah, it might be quicker than you think.
It will be quicker than he thinks. It's like a snowball. It gets bigger and bigger, and it starts rolling down the hill. Before you know it, you got 60,000.
Right, well, 62.2.
I don't know about all that. Oh, 62. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I thank every single person who signed up with me, and it's always a thrill to see that many people that care about what I have to say. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, you definitely command respect. I will say that. I certainly do respect you. I know Vegas does.
Well, I appreciate it,
100%.
guys. We are at 9:34. If you guys will have me, I'll stick around for another 10, 15 minutes, and then I got a boogie. So
sure,
if there's any other questions, anything anybody wants to ask me in particular, anything you want to know.
Littlefoot says he calls it junk silver at his coin dealer to make it sound worthless, but he says it doesn't work.
That's fair.
Yeah, he's trying to talk the price down. Right?
I talk the price down constantly, but my dealers all know that I do that, so they just shrug.
They bump it up before you come in the door.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah.
They know who I am and they know what I'm after. So
They cringe when you come in.
no, the thing is that I treat my dealers really, really well, and I think they'll all tell you that. So I go out of my way to treat them well. I don't dicker on price too often, and I will send them as much business as I possibly can. I always try to keep a really good communication open with my dealers, and I build them up as much as I can, because ultimately doing that for them makes my potential purchases even better. So it's a symbiotic relationship, right? The better I treat them, the better they treat me, and I always want to treat people as well as I can.
I mean, that's only makes sense.
Hey, I saw a comment Bellows Forge made, and let's see, Stack That Gold, about Mr. and Mrs. West Texas. I can't see his posts. Did I do something, screw that up? Because I was in his live stream the other day, and we were talking back and forth, no problem. But when he comes in my live stream, I can't see him.
Yeah, I don't see him neither. I saw somebody say, "Hey, Mr. and Mrs. West Texas," but I don't see him neither.
Yeah, I mean, that's weird.
Sir Sloth, you're going to have to make that determination yourself. It does not have a date on it, but you're certainly welcome as far as I'm concerned. Shep says, Dubsy, you mentioned trying to get barbers if you can only get slicks. Is there anything else where you say to hell with the condition and get it at the right price? The one that comes to mind is Spanish Colonial 8 Reales. Because a lot of those have been beat to hell. Obviously, a lot of them have chop marks. If you get the El Cazador pieces, they've got shipwreck effect surfaces that are all weird looking. So for those, a lot of them have holes drilled in them. There were, pockets weren't really even a thing back then. I don't think pockets came about until the middle of the 1800s. So you often find Spanish Colonial 8 Reales in really bad shape, and I don't care. I'll snap those up, especially if they're cheap, whenever I come across them. For that, it's actually part of the charm of those pieces. For 90%, I'm a lot more reluctant. I go for the highest grade I possibly can of the oldest piece, and it's a sliding continuum where the closer you get to 1964, you really want to see those pieces be uncirculated. But if you're going back to early barbers, I'm okay with VGF, but I would rather have something that was probably a little bit higher grade. Remember to wipe off the pirate blood from those reales. That's something I have to remind people of, that the golden age of piracy actually ended in 1698. So anything that's dated 1700 really probably wasn't pirate treasure. You can look that up on Wikipedia and see it, but it's true, unfortunately. And for those of my followers and everybody who's down on the Gold Coast of Florida who gets to go metal detecting and find stuff, I don't know, man. Blue collar, are you down there? Do you get a chance to do that kind of thing very often?
I'm on the Treasure Coast, which is where the 1715 fleet wrecked.
Yeah.
And no, I can say I've never gone metal detecting or diving for treasure. Never.
I mean, there's so many people out there with detectors, and I know it's an impossible thing to try to do, but that would be kind of a bucket list thing for me. I'd love to do that.
I do have an El Cazador piece here somewhere, though.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. El Cazador pieces are cool. They used to be hated, and now I think people really like El Cazador.
I got to dig it out, but I'll dig it out and show you.
Somebody said you probably blocked Mr. and Mrs. West Texas because of Goldback. Goldback comment.
No, Stuart said that. I highlighted the comment. Dude, I don't block anybody. I would never block anybody. I've had little tiffs with other people who shall remain nameless, and I don't block them.
He showed up on the YouTube stream, just said something real quick, but in StreamYard he didn't show up. I don't know why that is. That was weird.
Yeah, I didn't see him.
That's totally weird because, again, like I said, I don't block anybody.
I like the Texans. They're good. They're good people.
Great. I was in their live stream for a half hour the other night. We were talking for about a half hour.
Yeah, I was there on Sunday morning for a bit, I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was yesterday morning. I don't know. The days go by so fast now.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Sir Saul says, are Goldbacks worth, if I get 2,000 of the 2,000 Goldbacks, do I really have an ounce of gold?
I will say yes, you will. You will.
But it's not worth it.
But it's not worth it. There you go. El Cazador piece, right? You could tell the shipwreck effect. That's a beautiful condition coin right there. That was the great thing is that they're uncirculated.
The other side is a wreck, but
I mean, literally, it's a wreck. That's the nature of these pieces.
Yeah, it
But
was stuck to another coin.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was stuck to another coin. They tore it apart and tore some of the surface of it off, but it was underwater for 200 years plus.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's a badass piece. I love it.
It is a very cool piece.
Back in the bag she goes.
Silver Suit says, "What about blocking out like Rodman at the coin shops?"
Yeah.
You got blocked out once, right? Wasn't that somebody swooped in on something you were looking at?
Oh yeah, that was at one of the pawn shops. I was looking at
that's right.
Geiger bars, assayed Geiger bars, and they were running $2 a gram, which I thought was a fair price. So I was just talking, and I asked him to see another piece, and here comes this guy right by my side, says, "I'll take those 2 Geiger pieces." I was like, "Dude, I'm looking at them. What do you mean you'll take them?" He goes, and the guy says, "Well, you didn't say you wanted them, so I'll take them." And the freaking coin guy sold it to him.
See, that's the thing. The dealer should not have done that.
No way. I left. I was like, "No, I'm done."
It's like you're going to take a bite of that steak, and somebody's like, "I'll take that steak."
Yeah, why not, right?
I mean, there's a very definite hierarchy in my local shops, and if you're there first, it's yours. And if you look at the next guy and say, "I don't want this," you're free to buy it, then they're free to buy it. But you don't step on somebody else's feet like that. And the dealers know that. They would never let that happen in their shops.
Yeah. I was basically in the process of looking at a bunch of stuff at the moment, and he just swooped right in there. It was funny.
Yeah, you don't do that. I mean, if you were really dragging your feet and you'd been there for an hour and a
Not
half,
at all.
different.
Nope.
But no, you don't do that.
I'm highly surprised you didn't just punch him right in the face.
No, I let him know how I felt about it, but I wasn't going to get in a fight over a 20 gram Geiger piece, or actually it wasn't even 20. It was a 10 and a 5. 10 and a 5
just
for 30
etiquette
bucks.
though, and like you said, it was a pawn shop, so they really don't care. Most coin shops probably wouldn't have done that, but the pawn shops, that's just somebody behind the counter that doesn't know any better anyway. So I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. Pawn shop's probably a different animal entirely than a coin shop. Coin shops still have a little bit of old school kind of etiquette. I think Silver Sleuth, you probably know that. But you say you don't get out very often, right?
Who's that, Silver Sleuth?
Yeah, I think he says he's kind of a trapped at home kind of person, doesn't get out very often. Death at the coin
shop. The pawn shops here don't ever have anything. I've checked them a couple times. The one that's not too far from me, they said they have a guy call every day to see if they have anything in, and if they do, they go and get it. And but my brother has a shop by him. It's funny because it's the same owner, and there's 2 shops. They're probably about 40 miles apart. You can buy at one shop, you can get their stuff at $1.50 over spot or $1 over spot. The other shop is in a different uppity type area, and it's like $3 over spot for the same freaking products.
Yeah. Well, that's the way that pawn shop is actually that way. They don't care what it is, but they're $3 over spot. But I've picked up Engelhard stuff in there, like loaf bars for $3 over, which I think is, it's not a great price, but it's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not terrible. You can do worse. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Engelhard bars, right? Is Stack That Gold still in the house? If he is, today in Silver Bar Stacker's Whatnot stream, I picked up one of those Engelhard bars from his stream. He was giving away.
Buddies, if I remember correct, right?
I'm sorry?
They're buddies, right?
They are buddies, I believe. Yeah. And he had 2 Engelhard bars and some other set. But I think I pulled about 10 spins, and I nailed that Engelhard bar today. So that was a good pickup.
Silver Sleuth says, "I got the Geiger, and it only cost me 18 months probation."
Exactly. Yeah.
That's not a roll of nickels. That's a roll of 5s.
Oh, hold on. Let me fluff you up here, buddy.
So, Dubsy, you got a lot of knowledge about coin shops. I notice
a
lot of coin shops have like they'll have different types of stickers on their products, and I've noticed it at coin shows too. Now,
with
is
like
that to
codes on them?
Yeah, is that like to determine what? No, not like those stickers. Just like random numbered stickers, or like they'll have like a blue dot or a green dot, or
yeah, that's the dealer's code, so the dealer knows how much they paid for something.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
the
they have it
dealers
like written down in a book somewhere or something. Like they
they've
know
got
the
it
blue
memorized.
dot.
No, they've got it memorized. If it's a dealer that's been doing it for more than 3 or 4 years, they've got it memorized and they can know instantly how much they paid for something. And it's really critical. And if you really, really want to, you can probably figure that out in your favorite stores. But I don't think it's a good idea to do that. That's kind of stepping on their toes, and you probably shouldn't. So it's really a function of them knowing how much they paid for it. Don't concern yourself too much with how much somebody else has paid for something. You want to concern yourself with how much you are paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a good deal, it's a good deal. Doesn't matter how much they paid for it. If it's a bad deal, it's a bad deal. Doesn't matter how much they paid for it. So how much they paid for it ultimately doesn't come into play. You want to get the stuff that is the best for you at the best price for you, at the breast price for you.
Breast price.
At the breast
You're always
price.
looking for the breast. You always got to look for the breast.
You always go for the breast.
Hey, this is a family show.
Since when has Monday night ever been a family show? Jeez, the stuff we've had on here.
Yeah,
we've had a
couple of cool things on here.
Were you not here for Emperor Wang's reveal of how he got his name?
That was interesting. I know Dub wasn't here for that because that was like right before we killed the stream.
Yeah, I don't remember that. But I remember an allusion to it. I remember somebody talking about it.
All right, tell the story, Vegas. You brought it up.
So he said it was a villain, if I remember right, a villain in a porno in the 70s.
Yeah, it was a Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon, that's it.
Flash Gordon knockoff, yeah, like a parody.
Whatever.
A parody,
Flash
right?
Gordon.
And they called it Flesh Gordon.
Oh, dude.
And the villain's name was Emperor Wang.
Interesting. So, you guys know where the name Steely Dan comes from, right?
Yeah, it's from like an old-timey dildo or something, right?
I think it's from Naked Lunch. I think it's from that novel, and yeah, it's a weapon of self-pleasure.
A weapon. I like.
Wasn't it like steam powered or something? Something crazy.
I don't remember.
I thought it was like a steam powered dildo or something.
Bellows Ford says Libertads are the best price. Man, everybody loves those old school Libertads, even the new ones with the kind of side angle of Liberty on them. Mexicans know how to make their pieces. Those are beautiful coins.
No doubt.
One guy on Whatnot, he calls them Libertitties.
Libertitties. Hey, nothing wrong with that. That's it.
They have so much of the premium on them's crazy though.
It is. It's insane.
Yeah,
I'm glad they're limited mintage, but they're not. They're not
that limited. Yeah, I think it's all supply and demand.
Yeah,
nice selection. Now I'm seeing those CAC graded GSA dollars. Those are really cool. Why don't you fluff yourself up real fast? Blue collar.
Wait, what happened?
The CAC graded GSAs.
Oh yeah.
I want to check those out real fast.
Sure.
Shep says he has an old brothel token that leaves nothing to the imagination.
Shep, a lot of those brothel tokens were made in the 1970s. They're not authentic, but they are funny. I know they're good for one, whatever you want to call it. See, 61. Why would you call it a 61? That's a 62, 63. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I don't think so. But
he said CAC is tough on shit.
CAC is tough, and you can see that one's got lusters. You see what I'm talking about compared to the piece that you showed earlier?
They all have luster.
So yeah, they've got cartwheel, that minimal surface breaks, and nice strike. I mean, 61 is rough. I don't know why they do that.
I guess it's just a reputation thing, you know. They're kind of stuck with that.
It could be.
Yeah, it looks
so nice. I wouldn't have said 63. If you'd shown that to me in just a flip, I would have said 63, 62, maybe 63.
We can rewind the tape because you did grade these.
Oh yeah, I probably got it completely wrong, right? I think I got a couple of them pretty close.
You did actually. Hold on. I'm gonna go to the videotape here. Not the videotape, but I got it somewhere.
Scorecard.
Yeah, I'll go.
So would it be worth sending those off to PCGS instead?
Nah, I didn't.
No, probably not. You know, the thing is that CAC is really hard on stuff like that. And yes, I said hard on. CAC is really hard on things like that, but that just means that they're valued a little bit higher. Probably. It's it's 6 one way, half a dozen the other. AGAU Addict says, what's the smallest silver bar, Dub? 2 ounces, Maker? So the smallest bar that I have out here are the 1 ounce bars from A-Mark and this one that I was showing off a little bit earlier. I know I'm not fluffed up, so you're going to have a hard time seeing it. It's from a company that we don't know very much about. It's called Silver Mat. And these are ridiculously valuable. These trade for $200 or $300 for a 1 ounce bar. This one's just got beautiful toning, and I picked this up at the local shop for 15, 16 bucks.
Nice.
1 ounce bar.
Back in the day.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Yeah, I dropped out.
Did you mess?
I dropped out for a second. Tune in, turn on, and drop out.
Stuart says the problem is all the Mexicans buy the Mexican stuff first, not as much left to go around. It's weird because for a long time, going back probably 20, 25 years ago, there was so much 1950s, 1960s, 1970s Mexican stuff out there that I loaded myself up on it because I thought it was cool. But it's definitely dried up. And I think anybody who's tried to pick up some of the pieces that I've showed in the Stacking Mexican Silver video series is probably encountering that. It's hard to find that stuff. Defacing an old Morgan dollar to make a work of art. He's calling it the coin vandal. This is from Bella's Forge. I haven't seen it. I talked a little bit about the 1964 Daniel Carr Moonlight Mint overstruck peace dollars. Those are a 64 peace dollar that is overstruck on a vintage peace dollar, 1921 to 1935. So mixed feelings about that. I think that some people hate that idea, but for something that's more common, you have to remember that we made something like, $1 billion silver dollars, Morgan dollars. So I'm okay with it.
Well, we just had that on Saturday morning with 3D Woodworks. He makes rings from Silver Eagles and Morgans and peace dollars.
Right. I know he's not using an MS-65 Morgan, Carson City dollar to make that with. And there are still probably hundreds of millions of these. I'm not so concerned with people using the classic vintage coin to make a piece of art. But when you're talking about, like you guys were talking about earlier, somebody melting 75,000 in face, and that's just a kind of a normal Wednesday for a lot of these smelters, that's what's deplenishing. It's not somebody like Bellows making a beautiful ring.
Says anything new goes to the banks first, thinking about going across the border the wrong direction to get an account.
I know Stack was talking about that 1917, right? I think I showed that one on Instagram. So there's my 1917 20 gold peso with the little gold wings sticker. Yeah, I mean, Mexican people probably buy Mexican gold and silver the same way that Americans buy American gold and silver. There's nothing unusual about that. But I think for a long time, Mexico's economy didn't really allow people, they didn't have the kind of disposable income to buy their own stuff. This is the same thing that we saw happen with China in the 1990s. There was no Chinese middle class until the middle of the 1990s. And all of a sudden, you've got literally 1 billion middle class people who kind of like their vintage coins. So those markets always explode when something like that happens. Something like hobo art. Yeah, B. Taylor, you're right. That's exactly right. There are 1 trillion dateless buffalo nickels out there. So, what are you going to do with a dateless buffalo? My dealers wholesale them for 8 or 9 cents a piece. So somebody who wants to put them on a leather belt to make a piece of American Indian inspired jewelry or Western style clothes, I understand why people would kind of cringe at that. But honestly, what else are you going to do with it, right? Silver State Sacker says Mexicans can go right to the bank and buy silver. I've heard some people say that. I've also heard a lot of tourists say that they have gone to Mexican banks and they look at them like they're insane, that they don't sell silver, they're a bank. So I do think that there are probably some banks that do sell silver. but it's kind of like, you used to be able to buy American Eagles at a lot of banks too. I think that was kind of the same idea, but I don't see them even advertised anymore. So I don't know.
Well, when I was in, where was I? At Cozumel, right? So I went to the local bank thinking I could buy it. And I was told by locals, taxi drivers, and what have not, yeah, you got to go to this bank and they'll have it for you. Well, when I went in there, they said, no, we do have them, but we just ran out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it was because I was a gringo or what.
Gringo.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Maybe. I mean, maybe it's not that difficult to find Mexican silver in the United States. You have to pay a premium, but if you're buying a Libertad, are you paying $8 over melt for one? You can probably back the truck up and buy as many as you want to for $8 over melt, maybe $9 over melt. Is it worth it trying to go across the border, going on a 2,000-mile trip,
right?
To buy 10 Libertads,
But having been there already, I thought it would have been a cool experience,
Sure, absolutely. That's understandable. But if you had done that and they were going to charge you $8 or $9 over melt for one, would you have picked one up? Probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But you wouldn't have bought, 500 of them. So
no.
Hold on the stream. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
I probably would have paid $20 over melt.
Just for the experience would be kind of cool, right? You'd have something that has a story behind it. Stack That Gold says you got to have a bank account in Mexico to buy the silver at the bank. That's a possibility. I've never heard that before, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, they didn't mention that. They didn't say that, but she just said they ran out. So
yeah,
I took her at a word.
Instead of trying to explain it to somebody, yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I stayed and talked for what, almost 2 hours? Is it really almost 10 o'clock?
It is. It's 1 hour and 51 minutes you were on for.
I went live twice last week, plus I was live after Friday night's video, and I know everybody's already tired of hearing my voice anyway. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to duck out since we're about at 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
Local time, that is. Unless anybody's got a last-second question, anybody else want to hit me for anything else before I take off? I'd be happy to entertain any last-minute thoughts or questions or anything else.
Keep the questions coming, guys. We want to keep them on.
Just so I have no voice tomorrow.
Keep the questions coming. Come on, guys. Don't let me down.
No, we don't need to do that. You guys know that old Frosty will be back again someday. I'll be live on Friday night after my premiere anyway. You guys are very welcome. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, everybody in the chat who's been asking questions. It's always a lot of fun to even just watch your guys' Monday Night Metal show. Your Saturday morning show is a piece of garbage, but your Monday Night Metal show is always a good time.
Well, you like Saturday morning?
Yeah, I'm never there anyway, so I just assume that it's going to be bad.
Yeah, well, that's because you can't get up.
I can't. I need the blue pills. Stuart says, so we talk about the 0.72 Mexican. Is it worth it? I think it is. You just have to buy it at 72%, right? It's the same way with 40% halves, or 800 fine silver from a lot of the other countries in Europe. It's just the standard. There's no reason to avoid it. I did for years. And I'm very fortunate that I was able to kind of catch back up to where I should have been.
Yeah. I would buy all the Mexican silver except the un pesos, the 10%ers.
Yeah. I've got a couple of those just for show and tell, but I don't stack those at all. And I try to warn people, be careful with those. People are buying those for good money and they have so little silver and there's no real reason to. Yeah,
we see them selling them on Whatnot all the time. People paying $14, $15 for them.
See, that's the danger of it. And I know that happens all the time. And it's not just Whatnot. It's just people not being educated as to what they should be paying for those things. There's no silver of them. They're supposed to have 10% silver, but, by volume, they probably have 5 or 6 now, any of them that actually circulated. Yeah. So there's no silver in those. There's no reason to even buy them.
It's funny because, and if you ask that question, this one particular stream that sells them, they just ban you.
Yeah, of course.
Because you're bringing out the truth. The truth is the enemy.
This is the problem with a venue like that. I think eventually it's going to be overtaken by people who do just that. And it's going to be so thick and so difficult to weed through and find the good stuff from people who know what they're doing. It's the Wild West, and I don't think it's really happened yet. But we saw that on places like eBay until they started putting down the law and really, really, well, theoretically implementing new laws that stopped people from doing that kind of thing.
Well, you'll get people with. I'm sorry, Vegas. Go ahead.
With Whatnot, they're making 8, 10, or they're making like 7 to 10% on every sale. So they're not gonna tell anybody that they can't do it. You know, they're
Right.
more power to them because they're making more money.
And that's what people said about eBay. And it's definitely true, right? eBay has backed off. They used to stop counterfeit sales all the time, and they've gotten really bad about that lately. But those protections are theoretically still there. I don't think that they're even, wink and nod there on whatnot. But, I'm not trying to belittle the platform. If that's really what people want to do, that's fine. You just got to be careful, right? Digital Wild West is exactly right, says B. Taylor. All right, I'm going to go ahead and split. Thanks, everybody, for having me. I will be in the streams later on this week. I do have a video coming out on Friday evening, and I think it's going to be the first of, if not a huge, long video about my second quarter 2025 updates. There's some really cool stuff. I'm excited to share it with everybody. We still have a couple of really cool things in the can. We've got a little bit of housekeeping to do with the second volume of that storage techniques video, which I know is a little bit dry, but so many people have asked for it. I figured I kind of had to get it out there.
Well, that's the reason I put everything out the way I did, because you had your tubes, you had your Tetra things, and I was like, you know what? Let me throw it out there.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea to remind people what techniques are out there, what things are out there. And I don't have the answers to everything. All I can do is kind of show you what I've done over the years. And it's clear that you guys both use things that I don't use. There's nothing wrong with that. I was just showing the examples of the stuff that I do. But the reason I did that, the reason I've got those two videos, the one that premiered on Friday, the one that still has to premiere, is so that we can start talking about my real coin collection, because I needed to explain exactly how I got to that point. And the videos that I talk about storage are really leading up to that in a way.
Yeah, honestly, I can't wait till you break those real coins out, because the fake coins that you got are pretty bitchin'.
Well,
I would imagine the real coins are pretty cool.
Just for you guys, since I've got at least one box sitting here, should I go ahead and pull one of these out and show you what the real coins are? Should I?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's get a little sneak peek.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
Oh, what a
coin, dude! One coin. Come on, throw us a bone.
Several of the pieces in my real collection have been seen on the channel. I just haven't talked them up, so you might have had a passing view of some of them. But there are a lot of pieces.
30 people we have.
There are a lot of pieces in there that nobody has any idea that are even mine. So I'm not sure that we're going to get to all of them, but we will definitely take a big bite out of that group.
Yeah.
All right, homies, I'm going to go ahead and take off. I will see everybody in the streams. Thanks for having me.
Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for coming on.
See everybody.
Thanks, Dub. Always a pleasure. You with me?
Great stream with Dub C. Always good to have Dub C's knowledge on here. His knowledge is totally out the ass.
Absolutely. And for anybody who doesn't know, that's an Emperor Wang coined expression. So
Emperor Wang has a lot of expressions, and they're all good.
They are all good. He's got one of the most entertaining channels on YouTube. I find him fascinating, actually.
I'm still, man. I still don't know if that's Tom Arnold or not. I think it really is.
Hey, if Wang is in the house, let's bring him up on stage. We'll drop him a link.
Emperor Wang, are you still here? It's early your time. It's only 5 o'clock. Maybe he's eating dinner. Silver State, what's up, brother? He says the bombing had no effect on the silver. Will the peace resolution make price drop? I think it already has, and I think it still will. If I don't believe Iran. I don't think Iran's going to go away that quietly.
Yeah, I kind of don't trust them. You know what I mean? I wonder why.
I don't trust them at all. I can't see that being a thing. It's me, just my thinking. What else we got? Yeah, see, on StreamYard, West Texas doesn't show up.
Say that again?
On StreamYard, West Texas doesn't show up. Did you say West Texas
didn't show up?
He's here, or they are here.
Get it, man. I'm sorry.
They say I'd rather take my chances. He says he'd rather take his chances on the spot race games on YouTube rather than Whatnot.
As opposed to Whatnot? You know what, though? I mean, I got to be honest, man. If you're careful on Whatnot, you can get some great deals. I got a ton of great deals.
Yeah, I mean, look at the deals I was giving away when I ran my shit.
Yeah,
No, on
exactly.
whatnot. I mean, if you know what you're looking for, and not even know what you're looking for, but if you know what you're looking at, you can get some good deals. That's just like
Yeah,
the games that you play on what or on YouTube. It's the same idea, same principle.
yeah.
You can spend. I'll tell you this. I don't know what they charge for the race games on YouTube, but you can spend that same amount on whatnot and have a shot at way better prizes. I guarantee it.
Yeah, no doubt. There's definitely, like I said, Stack That Gold. I see he's back. I won that beautiful Engelhard bar today. I think I got, like I said, about $25 in invested in spins and freight, and I got a gorgeous low mintage Engelhard bar. The silver bar stacker says, I think he said it was worth $65. So that's pretty awesome.
West Texas says he was watching some dude selling generic buffaloes for $45. Yeah, you can. I mean, you see
You
that,
can
but that
ask.
doesn't mean you have to do it. You know,
Yeah, he can ask as much as he wants for him. It's just like anything else, you know.
and they're getting it, but that doesn't mean you have to. You have to swipe and buy that generic buffalo for $45. If you see that and you don't like it, then you can go to a different stream. I mean, it's
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think people are getting those high dollars right now. Right now, it seems like the bids are down, but I don't know. I mean, I sure as hell wouldn't buy a generic Buffalo for 45. I'd buy one for 31, but which, by the way, I don't think you ever shipped me that Buffalo, by the way.
it did ship you the buffalo.
Oh, maybe you did. What was it that you didn't ship me? Oh, the gold
I have
backs?
a gold. I have
Yes.
one gold back and a Trump copper round of yours that I still have to ship you.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Like, you don't have to buy that piece from that person. That's your choice. And if
Yeah,
you're playing the race game, they have games just like that on whatnot and with better prizes. And I
yeah.
mean, dude, I won this on a freaking wheel game on whatnot.
I mean,
When
you want a 10th ounce graded gold piece
for free.
for free as a giveaway.
And I won this. This is a cool
Yeah.
freaking piece.
And my wife got a 10th ounce gold piece on a $15 spin.
Yeah, I got this for nothing.
Yeah. I mean,
You
come
didn't even
on.
have to pay shipping. I didn't have to pay shit.
Let me fluff you up there, Vegas. There you
Let me
go.
turn-
Oh, look at that. Pretty.
I mean, that's
She's a
a
beaut.
1/10 ounce gold for nothing. You're
Yeah.
not gonna get that on YouTube. I mean, I'm not bashing YouTube and their races. I'm just saying that.
You're a
I mean,
racist?
to each their own. It's your choice, and it is what it is. I don't blame you for not messing with whatnot. I don't
No.
blame anybody for not doing it.
No, it's not for everybody. I say that. It's definitely not for everybody. But I think if you're careful, you put in custom bids. BT knows. BT, you can, I see him out there.
See you. I see you.
Yeah.
Somehow my chat got messed up.
What were these? These were. Here's a couple of things. Let me show you. My wife got some real good stuff on some cheap ass spins because my wife is a cheap ass. She puts in like $15 max bid, one graded silver eagle,
Yeah, I mean,
NGC,
it's as long as you're
PCGS on this one,
as long as you're
NGC
not
on
like
this one.
me. As long as you're not like me and you control yourself, you're all right.
Yeah, she's the ultimate in control in my life because she hit $1,000 jackpot on the slot machine on Sunday night, cashed it out, and walked away. And I could never do that.
Nice.
She just picked it up and walked away. And I was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm out of here, dude. I won." I was like, "Okay."
She
I
can
would have
keep
sat there.
winning.
I would have been max betting until it was all gone. House money, house money.
Silver
Oh
State
man.
says he needs to start selling on Whatnot. It's a journey. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
can be good and it can be bad. It's all about your presentation. These channels that are getting $45 for a buffalo, they're shady, and they have 100 people in there that have no clue what they're buying.
Exactly. And they're telling you that buffalo is worth 60. Come on, chat. This is a $60 buffalo here.
They're telling you you're buying goldbacks under spot.
Yeah, exactly. I had that one guy the other night. I was really laying into him. He's telling them that $10 melt on a one goldback. $10 melt. And I was like, dude, it's not $10 melt. I mean, come on. And he was just coming back at me saying, no, it's more than that. It costs more than that. I said, yeah, maybe it costs more than that if you buy one on JM Bullion because you got to pay shipping, tax, whatever. But that's not what melt is, and that's not what melt means. You can't say it's $10 melt. You can't. You know, but
That's
he
another
didn't
thing
want to
too.
hear
It's not just the buyers on Whatnot that have no clue. It's the sellers too.
it. Yeah, a lot of them don't. Yeah.
Like I think they're just doing it and they don't know better either. And I might be wrong and giving them too much credit, but I don't know.
Take care,
Littlefoot, thanks for
Littlefoot.
stopping in, man.
Appreciate you, man. I'll see you Saturday morning.
Look forward to hearing LBS give you the drilling.
Yeah. I
MSJ,
think
welcome in.
MSJ, oh, he's a whatnot guy.
Yeah,
He
he
does
was in on yours, right?
he does a little bit of whatnot. Yeah, yeah. Heck yeah.
There's like you and I said, there's nothing wrong with Whatnot, and you can buy it, you can find deals, you can have fun on there, but you just have to know what you're buying, and that's no different than going to a coin shop and knowing what you're buying. Littlefoot gave you a $2 super chat. Thanks, Littlefoot. Good
Littlefoot
show.
dropping the cash, dude. Thank you. Not necessary, by the way, but thank you. Definitely not necessary.
Wait. How come people do super chats when you host? I host. I don't get nothing. I don't get anything.
Dude, I just got it like that. I don't know what it is, man. Women have been throwing room keys at me all week on the cruise ship. Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Oh man. Let me
yeah, Bellows
let me
Forge.
shrink myself here.
B Taylor said he saw a kilo on Whatnot and for going for like, what did he say, $60 or something? It's all part.
Anything's possible.
And Bellows says, yeah, that's how they get people to spend $25 and end up with just a 90% dime that values like $3. Yeah, it's a
It,
gamble. I mean, it's no different than putting $25 in a slot machine and hoping for $1,000 hit. Same shit.
yeah. Well, listen, if it's a straight auction and they put up a Mercury dime and somebody bids it up to $9 or $10, they're an idiot.
And they do.
Unless they know something you don't know, like maybe it's a key date or whatever. I mean,
They're
I
getting
saw it.
$10 for a gram.
Yeah, I saw a guy buck and go an 1894 O Morgan. 1894 O. He buck and go it. It was probably $1,000 coin. He ended up getting like 600 for it, but he was stupid. I don't know.
Yeah, but you never know. He might. I don't know. He might have had it for a long time. He was taking a risk too. He was taking a gamble.
Oh, so my silver journey. I'm sorry if I confused you with someone else. I think I might have confused you with
Ishi.
who? No, not Mishi. Somebody else that was in my stream. Not Humble. Humble does do whatnot. I don't know. I confused you with someone else, man. I'm sorry about that. I know I've seen you on Pure Metals, of course.
Been having problems with pure metals.
I got nothing bad to say about Pure Metals, honestly.
Nothing bad to say about them. It's just technical difficulty stuff that I just need to
Yeah,
work out. I'm sure it's probably my phone or something. I needed to close the page or open the page or something.
they're just working the kinks out, you know?
Yeah. Oh, of course. And that was to be expected. I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. Like I've had some pretty decent offers. Had some bad ones, but made a couple of sales on offers. Um,
Yeah, FG
Straight.
Phoenix does whatnot. Yep.
Oh yeah, Phoenix definitely. Hell yeah, Phoenix is on. Actually, I missed his show Saturday night. He does a
Maybe
show
I need to try.
Saturday night, 9 Central. Yep,
Maybe I need to try.
FG used to sell. You don't sell on whatnot anymore, do you, FG? I see you in there every once in a while though, trying to look for them bargains, right? You, FG, I can imagine he's in there sniping them bargains up. He knows what he's looking at.
You know what you're looking at. You can, like you said, that you just said that one Morgan went for dirt cheap.
Yeah.
You just have to be in a stream that nobody knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, it's not like you want to take advantage of people, but I'm a free market kind of guy. You know, if you want to sell me something and you don't know what you're selling, that's on you. That ain't on me. And the same goes the other way. I've bought stuff. I paid $50 for something that was worth 13 because the guy said it was worth 80, and I didn't know. And then I looked it up after the fact, and I was like, yeah, that ain't worth 80. It's worth $13. I just paid 50 for it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I mean, you got to know what you're buying. But I don't blame him. I blame myself.
Oh, that's it. Woodsy says I'm on Pure Metals, but they won't send to Australia. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Oh, Emerald Coast, you said you guys need to post some bars on Pure Metals. I got a bunch of bars. Vegas has a bunch of bars, but I
I might
saw
be talking about
before.
FG. FG has a
Oh,
bunch of stuff on there too. FG's on there.
he was. You were saying before you thought I was in Vegas. No, I'm in Florida, man, just like you.
Woodsy.
What are you looking back in the chat? Perth Mint is probably my favorite mint. Bellows Forge. You know, Bellows, I like Perth Mint. I got a bunch of Perth Mint stuff, but I like the Royal Australian Mint better, I think.
TFC, it's Pure Metals. PEE. Here, I'll put it. There you go. That's the Australian man. You those pieces you picked up are I like. You're right. I like those better.
Mm.
Plus, we got I am short on silver bars on Pier at the moment, working on a series of Lady Pirate pours to put up. Yeah, FG, I just watched your latest pour. That I like the idea of you. See, that's a good idea. He has a piece on Pure Metals that hasn't sold and hasn't had any interest, so he's thinking about taking it off of there and melting it down and doing it different.
Yeah.
It's a great
Well,
idea.
that is a great idea. And that's the beauty part about, stuff like that with pour. It just never goes away. You just remelt it and make it into something else. Excuse me. Sorry.
I was thinking about buying some silver shot and put it on Pure Metal, seeing if there's anybody that wants silver shot.
Yeah.
Trying to think of stuff that's not on there to put on there.
The thing is, it's like everything is on there, though. That's the thing.
It's become that way now, yeah.
I think your best bet for making a little bit of money is run a good game, like that guy last night that you sent me the link.
Oh, on Pure Metals.
No, the guy on Whatnot that you sent me the link for last night. That
he
guy
runs a good game.
He runs a good game. Absolutely. Yeah. And I bet he makes a good buck. But he makes it interesting. He's right in on it,
He does. And I mean, he Silver Sleuth Eagle proofs on Pure Metals. There probably are.
Yeah, I would think so.
I'm on their site right now. Maybe I can look. Proof sets.
Probably not going to be in a proof set, but
Silver Eagles.
American Silver Eagles.
I don't. There's a 2016 proof American Silver Eagle for $70 from Bean Becky.
There you go, Bean Becky.
That is the only one I see.
A lot of Morgans on there. A lot of Goldbacks
Coin
on
sense
there.
and nonsense. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up? CSAN.
How are things? Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah,
No
appreciate you
vintage,
stopping
no
in.
fun. Ego proofs
Yeah.
on pure metals are pure. Little no vintage pure. Little to no vintage on pure metals.
No, there's some vintage on there. I've seen it. I've seen some vintage.
There's some Engelhard bars on here. Quite a few Engelhard bars.
Yeah, but you know
Quite
what? I consider Morgan's vintage too, you know, and there's a bunch of Morgans on there.
There's a United Refinery, Tri-State Refining, Engelhard, Handy and Harmony.
Pan American. There's a Pan American bar.
Vintage Silvertown bar.
Engelhard
OPM
bar
vintage.
right here.
There's
Raleigh
good stuff
Gold
on there,
Dealer.
and there's only going to be more and more better stuff on there as the word gets out.
Yeah. Now that you're saying that, I'm going to bump my stuff right to the top. Wonder, can you bump your whole listing page?
I can't even get into my profile.
Really?
Like I click on profile and I just got the circle. That's it.
I'm looking at my listings, and then it says bulk price update. And let's see if I can't bump the whole thing. I don't see it. Price update? No, I don't want a price update. Bulk update. Sorry if this gets boring, but I'm just trying to figure this out.
I'm just trying to log in.
Oh, I'm logged in.
Vintage Silver Sleuth says vintage copper. Is there vintage copper?
Yeah, there's vintage copper, of course. It's called pennies. Right? Cents.
Dude, I can't even get into my profile.
Those Indian heads, remember that book of Indian heads that I bought?
Yeah.
Those things were $5-6 a piece.
CoinSense Dub C dipped out the evening, unless he's in the chat.
Dub C split unless he's in the he might be in the chat. I don't know.
He was here for 2 hours. That was a good stream.
Yeah, we had him in here for 2 hours. That was amazing. And he provided us with his normal knowledge out the ass.
Sorry, I'm emailing. I'm messaging Pure Metal so I can try and get into my account.
200 minimum views. Is that what you're predicting? 200 views on this? Let me look. I got Studio up. I'll tell you exactly how many there are. Dub C Monday Night Metals. 320 views so far. That's a good stream. 321 views.
Tonight? Nice.
Yep. Yeah, good stream. I don't know what the watch hours are, but it doesn't matter anymore, does it?
Yeah, hey, you're there, brother. You're there.
And did you not make it last night?
No, it hasn't updated yet, I don't think.
It has to have updated, dude.
It only updates so many times a week. It doesn't update daily.
No, it updates every night. You got to refresh it.
Mine hasn't updated since June 18th, showing data as of June 18th.
Yeah, but that's it. It's always 4 days behind. But you should be. You only short 4 hours. You should have got that last night on last night's update, unless you had a big video 365 days ago.
I'm telling you, it doesn't. It's only showing data from June 18th.
Hit the refresh.
I closed out the app and opened the app.
So when you scroll down, it says how many hours short do you show?
6 hours.
So you actually lost 2 hours.
Probably.
Yeah, you must have had a video that exceeded what you did. Once you hit the 4,000, you never have to worry about it again.
Can't get there.
You'll get there.
And I can't get in my Pure Metals account neither.
Dude, do you have a playlist? I'm gonna watch all your videos while I sleep tonight.
Oh, I'll get there because I told you I have watch hours pending. It
Yes.
says it hasn't updated since the 18th, and I have
Hey,
um
you want to hear a good one?
I have 10.6, I have 55, I have 56 hours, 61. I have 61 hours that'll post this week.
Nice. So listen, I just said that to you. I'll watch your videos while I sleep. My wife goes, "That'll help you sleep."
That's true. That is true because I'm one of the most chill on YouTube. I'm not yelling and screaming in the mic.
She's only kidding.
Hey, it's all good.
She still loves you.
You can click the Google button, Vegas. It's easier.
Oh, what is that?
Man, I can't get into my. I can't. I don't know. I can't get into my Pure Metals account.
Does Vegas FG? Does Vegas have a playlist? Because I don't even know if he does.
I do.
You do?
I
All right.
created one.
I'm gonna hit it tonight. Everybody hit Vegas's playlist tonight. He needs to grind out those last 6 hours and get this thing done.
Oh, I have 60. I have 60 hours. It'll post once it updates.
Yeah, but you don't know. A year ago, you could have had a video that did 100 hours, and then you're screwed.
Yeah, you think I ever had a video that did that?
Yeah, apparently, because you had 4 hours the day before, and now you got 6. You're short. So you
It did have
lost
one
2
video
hours.
that like took off, but that was one.
Yeah.
Let me open up YouTube Studio on my computer.
Everybody hit Vegas's thing tonight, just so 5 days from now he gets it. We want him to
I
get
can
that
make
4,000.
I can make tens of pennies a day.
You can make 33 cents like me. I made 33 cents on YouTube so far.
Let me
Actually, you
see.
know what? That updates daily right before midnight. I'm not even sure if it updated yet, but I'm going to look. I might be up to 40 cents.
See, um even on my computer, it shows it hasn't updated eligibility showing data as of June 18th. So it hasn't updated yet.
Wow, I picked up 4 subscribers tonight. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
But
that.
I do have, I'm telling you, I got stuff coming. I'm
I know
gonna
you
get
do.
those hours.
Oh, wait, here it is. Summary, views, watch time, estimated revenue.
Silver Sleuth says, thought she was gonna say that you already dream of him when you're sleeping.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here we go. Revenue, 7 days, last 7 days. All right. Oh, there it is. I'm up to 44 cents. I made 44 cents so far.
Listen, I just want to be able to get into my Pure Metals account. Can I do that? I just want to be able to accept this offer that somebody gave me. No, somebody made an offer. I accepted it, and they haven't paid me yet. And I can't. It won't let me chat to them and tell them to pay me.
Yeah. Actually, I made more than 44 cents because we had two super chats and tips tonight for $2 each. So there
I'm
you go.
interested to see what the live stream will end up netting you.
Yeah, that's a good. I don't know. Well, I'll let you know. It's 2 days from now. Full disclosure. I'll let you know exactly what it is. Analytics.
It would really. Yeah, B Taylor, where's Shashank at?
Shashank. Yeah. Who's that other guy? Sheep Dip?
Deep Dev.
Sheep Dev. I keep thinking like sheep dip, like it's some kind of like friggin' like corn chips or something going on there. Sheep Dev. Yeah, Sheep
Corn,
Dev. That's it.
corn chips.
Hopefully, Sheep Dev's not in the stream tonight. I didn't mean to insult you, buddy.
They are in from overseas, so they are on different times.
Yes, they're in Bangladesh or India or something.
Deep Dev, if you're in the stream, can you help me get into my freaking whatnot or my Pure Metals account?
Yeah, right.
Oh, let me see. Let me see. I see what B Taylor was saying. Say click on continue with Google. Is that what I have to do?
Wait, don't you have a login? Don't you save your password into your?
Yeah, I got yeah.
So you should be able to just go to your. It should autofill your password.
It does, and that's what I'm trying. But B Taylor
Oh,
says
and it
he
does.
says
The password is wrong or something. It doesn't work.
no, I can get it. It logs into my account,
Okay.
but when I go to profile, it shits on me. I mean, it just does a
Uh,
little circle and circle and circle
I got you. Maybe it's your internet.
like this. See that circle?
Well, I'm not even watching right now. Hold on. Let me get on it. Boom, StreamYard. Let me full size you. You can show everybody your circle.
Look at my
Oh
circle,
yeah,
everybody. Isn't it
I see
fancy?
that circle. Look at that circle. We got 17 people, 18, no, 19. 19 people watching Vegas's circle. Going around, baby. That's like mesmerizing. That's better
Wow.
than a Dub C gold coin. Blue collar. Sheep dip is, wait, hold on. What did he say?
Sheep dip
Sheep.
is a liquid preparation for cleansing sheep of parasites or preserving their wool.
Oh, okay. Shit, man. I better not call him sheep dip then. Sheep dev. Sheep dev.
MSJ said he's got to go. Thanks for stopping in, MSJ. We'll see you on Whatnot.
Take care, brother. He ain't on whatnot. We'll see you on Pure Metals. Thank
Silver
you for
Suits likes
coming
my
in.
JFKs. I like my JFKs. I got
Yeah, those
these.
are
I got these on Whatnot for cheap.
beauties, man. Those are BUs, huh?
This one took a. I dropped this one and now it's all like schmutzed.
It's got schmutz on it. What'd you drop it in, for fuck's sake?
It dropped like behind my desk over there somewhere, and I can't get this schmutz off.
There's something behind your desk, something sticky. I
Maybe
don't
it's
want to know.
fake. Maybe it's fake and it scratched the real shit off of it.
Could be. Could be.
Do I have a magnet anywhere? This thing might be fake.
Yeah. Those JFKs are nice, Silver Sleuth. No
They might be
chips
fake though. I don't
involved.
know.
Food grade. Wait a minute.
No,
Hold on.
they ping like silver.
Cheap sheep dip. Oh, diameter. Yeah, I can't pronounce that word. We use that in our pool filter every once in a while to filter out the fine particulates. What? How do you pronounce that?
Oh, that's not.
Diatomaceous earth. All right, there you go.
Is that not? I don't think that's my right of. Is maybe that's why I can't get in there. Maybe it's a me issue.
Oh wait, hold on. Somebody says send them this wall. I'll check them for you.
Hey, I
Oh,
figured
send
it
them
out.
this way. I think he meant send them this way.
Oh, he
I'll
wants me to send me
yeah,
the Kennedys. He'll check them
yeah.
out for me.
Alexander said send them this way. He'll check them
Hey, so
for
I
you.
figured out my problem.
You probably never get them back, but that would be fair.
Let me see if I can check my offers. Offers, auctions, listings.
Imagine if you
Offers.
had like 10 sales and you didn't even know.
That'd be great.
That would be great. That wouldn't be
Let's
great
see.
because you get a bad reputation.
Yeah, but I'd have 10 sales.
This is true, unless they canceled.
Name
All
it
right.
pending.
Well,
Let's see if I can make a comment. Let's see if I can communicate with them here.
you know,
I
Crow Dragon
accepted.
Pirate, Crow Dragon Pirate. Thank you, sir, for hooking us up. Like, subscribe, and share. Love it. Thank you. You know, I don't think anybody ever shares our stream like out to their subscribers. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense now because we're about to get off, but
No one
yeah,
shares us.
yeah, nobody shares this, man.
Yeah, chat does not work. It won't let me chat to this guy.
No.
Can get into my account now though. That was a me issue. That was not a Pure Metals issue.
Nope.
Wade Chandler. Hey, Wade Chandler, can you freaking pay me? Can
Oh,
I chat from here?
those
Selling home?
are 90 bellows. Those are 90% halves. Those are 64s, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
64s.
Bellows wanted to know. Oh, Stack That Gold says send him to him. He'll throw him on a Sigma. Throwing him on a Sigma.
Oh, here's chat. What did I say the guy's name is?
Sheep dip. Sheep dip. Sorry, dude.
Wade Chandler. That's what it was.
Wade Chandler. Sorry.
His name doesn't even show up. He's not even a person.
Yeah, B. Taylor says you may need to sign out and sign back in.
I'm into my account now, but he doesn't show up as a user.
Well, it's like 11:30, dude. Besides
no,
that,
it's not the people that are on, but like if you type in somebody's name, their name shows up, and you can.
Oh, okay. The support. I think the support is bots anyway, isn't it?
Mostly. See, like if you type in somebody's name, their name pops up.
Yeah.
For chat purposes. This guy's name doesn't show up, so maybe he just like disappeared. So I can pretty much count that sale as null and void.
FG said he made a purchase on Reddit. PMs for sale.
Hey, there you go. I got some good deals on Reddit. What did I get from there?
What did you get, FG? You got some Morgans from there.
I got Morgans from there. Oh, I got a nice stack of these.
Bad boys. The what are they called? The 125th anniversary or something?
The Perth Mint anniversary coins.
There you go.
I got them at a steal too.
Save one of them for my wife.
I'll put that in your pile over here that I have to send to you.
There you go.
Over here with your gold back and your because I sold my brother's stuff that I was supposed to hold on for him.
Was it a memorial bar?
I was supposed to keep one of them Trump train bars.
Oh,
it was getting too much for him. Sorry.
The KO one or
the square Trump train ones that were going for like decent money that night.
Yeah, you said you were going to save one for me too, but
that's. So you already had one.
I do. I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you I bought it because I felt bad. I bought it like a couple of days later. I was like, I'm not waiting for Vegas to send me that. He didn't even get it yet. I was like, I'm buying that son of a bitch.
It's fine. You can buy it, and then I don't care. FG says he bought a tube of meltable silver rounds for under current spot.
There you go.
That's good.
That's the way to do it.
I'm telling you, I found some deals on there. What else did I know I got more shit from there.
Yeah, I mean, I've never tried that yet. I mean, I want to try it, but
I got some Morgans. I got some those rounds.
I actually got to make some money though. I mean, that's a thing, you know.
Fuck, I forgot what else I got from there. It was decent deals though. I know that.
Yeah. B. Taylor says Vegas been scoring, showed up on my big screen.
I wasn't even
that was your unboxing the Germania.
My Germania box.
Yeah, that was sweet.
This bad boy. This fancy box.
Wait, hold on. Let me fluff you up. Show it up.
What do you got? This fancy box. It's a box of cardboard.
All right. Actually, that video seemed like it was doing pretty well.
Yeah, it fell off the planet.
Oh, did it? That always happens, right? It goes like gangbusters for like 10 minutes and then it just goes.
Well, it's just the people that subscribe to you get it and they watch it and then that's it. Nobody else.
Is that what happens? I had a guy, I told you this, but I'm going to tell them. I had a guy contact me about, the SEO, the random email. Oh, let me do SEO for you. He told me my videos are 0 out of 100 on SEO score. 0 out of 100. I was like, oh, okay. No, that explains the 32 views.
Yeah.
All right. That would explain that. 0 out of 100.
These are only one. There's only 60,000 of these.
That sounds like a lot, 60,000.
It's less than most Morgans.
That's true. Oh, way less than most Morgans, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not 142 years old.
Not yet.
Not yet, yeah.
By the time they sell, they might be.
This is true.
These are pretty cool too. I like these.
Oh, I love those. I actually whipped one of those out before. I think I had one. Oh yeah, look at this. No, I got the. I made you full, man.
I was impressed with these. I can't lie. I didn't think that. I mean, I saw them online, but I didn't think they'd be that cool.
Yeah, they're way cool.
Very
Here, I got
cool.
the round. I got the round version.
I almost got some of those too.
Yeah, I got the bar and the round on these. I think I got a 10 ounce, a 1 ounce. I'm not sure if I have a 5 ounce.
I got those today, and I got these. See, I just dropped another freaking Kennedy on the floor, and then I got these today. I was surprised they were Val Canby. That was a good deal.
Yeah, somebody was saying in someone's video they bought a chopper bar.
And then I got these
chopper bars, and they said that was made by Val Canby. Who was that? Whose video was that? Somebody had to seen that.
I don't know.
What did Sleuth say here? I think when the scroungers dig up our stashes up in 142 years from now, they will scratch their heads and wonder. Yeah, they'll be like, what? What's with all these buffaloes?
You didn't give me my plug.
Oh, didn't I? Which plug is it?
The one in my hand.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, you want the plug? I thought you wanted to just put your watch on it. I'm sorry. There you go. All right, man. I guess it's almost time because my wife's going to bed. And
yeah, my wife's messing with the dogs. I think they're probably bugging her and keeping her awake. Thanks everybody for being in here. Thanks for everybody liking and doing all that cool stuff. Greatly appreciate it. Thanks for the super chats for Blue Collar. He appreciates it.
Cut Saw Mint.
Stuart, thanks for being in here. B. Taylor, from start to finish, as always, greatly appreciate it. Silver Sleuth, thank you. Stack That Gold, always appreciative. Bellows Forge, good to see you again. FG Stacker, always great to see you. I did not forget, I have to send you something. I am getting a commercial right now on our stream. That's awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
YouTube making money off us.
Alexander, I did not say organs, I said Morgans.
Organs?
Organs or Morgans, same shit.
Same difference.
Crow Dragon Pirate, I think I missed you being in here. Sorry, I was busy doing other stuff. I was trying to multitask, even though I've been told I don't know how to multitask. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to go enjoy some sheep dip.
Have a little sheep dip on me tonight.
Thanks, everybody, for being in. We don't have anybody for Saturday yet, do we?
Do we? That's a good question. No, I don't think so.
Anybody want to join us Saturday morning? Shoot me an email or Blue Collar an email.
I got a couple of irons in the fire right now, but we'll get somebody.
See, that's always the hard part. Like I throw like some emails out there and I'm afraid to double book. I don't want to be like, oh, sorry, we don't need you now.
Yeah. No, it's, you know what? That's why it's probably best if we each book our own streams. So
but that's even hard. Like I said, I sent like out 3-4 emails last week and I was afraid that somebody was going to say yeah. And then the other person, I would have to, 2 people would say yeah. And then I'm like, well, sorry, don't need you. Piss off.
Well, you could always leave it up in the air and say, we'd like to have you in on a Monday night.
We'll figure it out.
I'm trying to get that guy, you know, that guy I talked to today that I saw.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be really cool. That would be super cool.
Silver State says we need to make a Google Calendar. Yeah, the problem is we can't get anybody booked ahead of time. Actually, no, we have Emperor Wayne booked for September 9th.
Yes. Yep. That's 2 months, 3 months from now.
But listen, if you guys want to pick a day like next a month away, let us know.
Yeah, anybody that wants to come on, man, just let us know.
B. Taylor, you're due for another show. I know you're working weekends, but you're available Mondays. So we'll figure it out. It's so Saturday will be on Blue Collar's show, on Blue Collar's channel. After he gets done with LBS.
Yep. We'll be
OTG would be fun.
Maybe we'll book LBS to come in Saturday morning.
Silver Sleuth said OTG.
OTG, why not? Listen, I would love to have him. I would
I
love to
haven't
have
seen him
him,
lately.
Gator,
I
anybody.
haven't seen
No,
OTG or Gator.
I saw OTG the other night in West Texas stream. He was in there. He was cool. I think it was just that little, we had that little tiff that one day. It was no big deal. It came and went,
He got a little sensitive. It's okay.
No, it's all good, man. I get it. It
Yeah,
was just, it is what it is.
you start shit and you get shit on and you get upset. I get it.
It's no biggie.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yep. All right. Well, listen, we're going to call it. Thank you very much. Have a good night, guys. Huh? Too early?
Stewart says OTG is hiding like a bitch. I didn't say that.
No.
Stewart said that.
Let's not stir the pot, please. We don't need that kind of action. We're a family show.
We're a family-run show here. Thank you guys for being here. Greatly appreciate it. We will talk to you on Saturday morning.
LBS guest is what B. Taylor said. Are you asking or you want that? I'm sure he would come on.
I don't know. I don't know if he would.
I think he would.
He's expressed his this love for me.
I don't think so, dude. I think it's just different philosophies. That's all it is, and we can't all have the same philosophy.
He might be listening. I don't know. Who
I
knows?
was kind of surprised that Dub C didn't open that can of worms, because he seems to like. He's a pot stirrer. He likes to stir the pot.
Yeah, he stayed away from it. I was surprised too. I figured he'd bring it up, but it's been brought up enough.
He didn't even bring it up before we went live backstage. He didn't bring it up, and I was kind of surprised at that. I figured I wasn't going to bring it up, but I figured he would.
It's been brought up enough. It's been talked about enough.
Yeah.
We've expressed that no hard feelings. Wish him the best. He's doing his own thing, and that it is what it is.
Well, I got to be honest. I'm kind of looking forward to Saturday. Hopefully, I'm sure it's going to be perfectly comfortable. Everything's going to be good. We have our, me and LBS, we talk in text all the time, so it should be perfectly cool.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, everybody get in there Saturday morning, way too damn early show. LBS, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. I'll be in there, and Littlefoot will be in there. We're gonna have a good old time.
Vegas's videos.
We're gonna have a good old time.
what did she say?
And she said, and watch Vegas's videos tonight.
Let Vegas put you to sleep.
Yeah, Vegas will put you to sleep. I guarantee when it updates, I'll have the hours. I'm not sweating it.
I know, but it can't hurt. Just
I got another. Yeah, it can't hurt. I appreciate it.
All right. That's it. I'm gonna call it. We got to go to bed.
All right, thanks, guys. We will see you.
Everybody.
We will talk at you later.
Love you guys. Good night.
Later.
Peace.